I'm just saying pizza is the best, period.
Yes.
The
Drink,
best meal,
food.
period.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
How dare
I think
you
if
say
you
something
blended
so
pizza
offensive and
and
brave.
drank it, would you agree? We're kind of in the same.
I have basically had blended pizza. It was just soggy, so I assume it's the same.
Yeah.
I
have to think
once
about
couldn't eat
myself
solid
as having
food for 8
expertise.
weeks. I never got so desperate as to blend a pizza.
I was hoping you'd say, like, so I've experienced this, and here's how great it was.
I do know somebody who blended a double-double from In-N-Out, and he did not have good notes about the experience.
No.
So,
No.
you know.
Horrifying.
Okay, so
No.
pizza blended good, double blended bad. This is the assertion here.
Yes, because
That's just the spectrum,
and
like from one end to the other.
the distinction is one is not pizza and one is.
That should be noted.
That is how that functions. I was considering doing a greeting tonight. If y'all are wondering if we know if we're live or not, we totally know. Tonight is a goofy night where we are throwing together a one shot. Welcome everybody. Tonight is a game called The Shadows of Silver Creek. Dun dun dun. What does that mean? And
we find dinos?
No, but that's probably a big question. The audience has been like, "What the hell?" But yes, indeed, it is called The Shadows of Silver Creek. This is taking place, for anybody who is confused, modern day. It is taking place in the present day in a little sleepy town on a lake that looks very much like Crystal Lake called Silver Creek. It's a happy place filled with happiness. But we'll get to the happy parts later. And first, let's get to the darkness. Let's do our intros, everybody. If we could just go around and introduce ourselves, starting with you, Sam.
Hello, I'm Sam DeLev, and I am a professional something.
Mm-hmm. Tracks. Very good. And Joey, who the hell are you?
Do you want our character names in this, or just who we are as
We're
actual?
gonna get to that in a second. Yeah, but you first.
So just as a human being. Hi, I'm Joey Millen. You may know me from a little podcast called Plunders and Blunders, or one time when I was on Star Trek with some of these wonderful humans.
Yeah. Yeah. You played a Tellarite that done tackled a Cardassian to the ground. Right when they were trying to
Donkus.
Lieutenant Donkus lives forever. All right. And who is the person in the orange jumpsuit exactly?
Hey, I'm Gina DeVivo, and that I couldn't pass up an opportunity to play an old man.
My favorite thing about your mustache is I really cannot tell if it's a mustache or if that's just finely styled grown nose hair that has just been perfectly, perfectly.
I mean, the color
That's
matches.
what my ex-
It is your natural
say.
shade.
You couldn't just buy that.
No,
You couldn't just buy that.
it matches my actual head so well. It's so wild.
He's wild. He's wild.
It was wild.
So our last player who was playing the Chaos Goblin of our last fantasy campaign.
That would be myself.
Yes.
Hello, all. I am B. Zelda. My pronouns are they, them, and I think this is going to be fantastic. I am dressed as my most, what's a kind adjective? My most human self, you know? I'm ready to do human things, blend in with the fellow humans.
Righto. Well, now that that's out of the way, we're going to do something that's kind of fun that I've been wanting to do for a while. And that is basically, as we are getting ready to jump into the game tonight, I have a mystery planned. But before we get to that, we are going to do some quick world building right here in front of you guys, just so that we can get to know who our characters and how we see them and what the world is like. We're going to go ahead and start with a couple of questions. So right off the bat, I want to, so everybody knows, let's get down character names, and I'll start with you, Joey. Who is your character?
I am playing a high school student named Quinn.
Quinn.
Goes by Q sometimes, but I think most people just call him Quinn because he's not that cool to earn the nickname.
And what playbook did you select?
I have selected the Spell Slinger.
Oh, yeah.
I will be fighting fire with fire magic and having a good old time blowing things up, maybe, probably, hopefully not us.
All right, Gina.
My name is Jimbo Jimbaroonie, but most people just call me Pops.
Or Triple J.
Oh, that's a new one.
Jimbo.
Jimbaroonie.
Jimbaroonie.
But that's on the baseball court. There's a court, right? I don't know.
Pops.
How well funded is this school? It
Yeah, I was going to
depends.
say that they put a court in for baseball. We thought it would be appropriate with the money we had and all. All right.
And I may not look it, but I am the mundane playbook.
You definitely don't look it.
No.
How about you, B?
So I'm going to be playing the monstrous. Which again, why would I look that? It's just nothing out of the ordinary. My name is Mr. Smith, and I offer counsel to the children. The children these days, they have nothing but good advice. Get jobs, get a mortgage, pay your bills. Why?
No, these are good questions. Yeah. Quick question, just to get clarification for the storyteller. Is Mr. Smith he, him, or they, them as well?
I think he, they.
He,
A little bit
they.
of both. Mm-hmm.
He, they. And
He's known for their impeccable bolo ties.
Yes.
And the other half of Mr. Smith.
Yes, I am Agent Coach Jones. I have a job and a mortgage and expenses. I'm a professional. I'm in the union.
There's a union? You got a union?
Capital T, the union.
The
It's
union.
escapism, Genius.
It's
yourself a
the
union.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
All right. Sweet. So we get this. And what did you what playbook did you pull from, Sam? Or would you rather not say?
The professional.
I'm a professional.
Oh, the professional.
Something.
Oh, I thought you were actually self-proclaiming. Sorry, because you did that at
Ask
the top.
and
good at it.
answered,
Like,
Eric.
why are they saying it again? They already told everybody they're a professional something.
I live.
Okay, so let's start. I'm going to go down the questionnaire as we kind of build this world together. The first one at the top says choose your hunter playbooks, which we did. Create your hunters while everyone else creates theirs. We kind of did that. Everyone kind of did that separately. We're going to go around the group and each of you introduces your hunters. You kind of did that as well. Go around the group again, and each of you picks a history option for the other hunter on the team. I don't think we're going to be able to do that on this one, can we? Because I think because we're remote play and you guys got your own character sheets, we'll just skip that step altogether. Keeping your selected history options in mind, tidy up the team concept. So let's work on that. So right now, you're going to have history options. It normally what happens is somebody else will pick that for you. Go ahead and pick your own, but that's on the character sheet, I believe. You'll actually find
we
that.
have
on
the whole
playbook.
PDF for the playbooks.
What's
You
that?
can just scroll to other people. We have the whole
Yeah,
PDF
that's true.
for the
Access
playbooks.
it.
That's totally
We can
true.
just look
Yeah,
at it.
if you want to do that, that's true. I did send. Yeah, if y'all want to just flip through that real quick and pure chaos. Don't feel like you have to go in order. If you find one that you think is like, call it out and point at the person and tell them you want them to have it.
Huh?
And
So
Oh,
remind us.
the history part on
Yeah.
page 2? I
Uh-huh.
got you. Well, I
Yeah,
already
yeah.
have one that I can
Ooh.
assign.
do it. Who's getting
Okay.
it? Who are you assigning it
Well, I'm going to assign it to Q.
to?
No, it's okay. Q is my son, but he doesn't like anybody to know about it. And I'm not going to say it in the halls.
Sorry, Jake.
But I'm so proud of him, and I just want him to know that secretly.
Okay. Are you going to
He's
keep
my-
the history?
He's my
Oh,
magic
he's your
boy.
son?
He's my
Oh,
magic
that's
boy.
the history background? Oh,
Yes!
that's brilliant.
Yeah,
That's
he goes to the
brilliant.
school, and I need him to be safe because I've cleaned up a lot of
Oh.
gross stuff around here.
Oh,
I have
God.
gone 3 years of being a high school student without anyone figuring this out, and I will take this to my grave before
Let me tell you
anyone
something.
knows that this man is my father.
For 2 years, I went to
Hey.
a middle school where every kid at school knew my mother was the head of the math department at that school, and it did
Ooh.
not go well for me.
It doesn't usually go in your favor.
There was a
I
lot
don't
of
want that.
high-speed impacts across the side of my face throughout those 2 years. It was not
That's
fun.
okay. I ain't gonna tell anybody.
So let's
Oh, I
see what what else we got. Who else has anything that they want to assign to somebody else? Have you guys picked one?
I'm looking
Um,
over these right now.
That's and how do you one up that? You're my son.
Go
You're my boy.
Jim.
Yes.
I
So
think-
big pictures. Yes. Oh,
ahead.
I feel like I have a big picture sense so far of where things are going to go. I have like the umbrella, I might winnow it down. So like I might take the opportunity to help bridge the duos. There's a lovely mundane one. You save their life from a monster due to an unlikely chain of events. Tell them what. So for Pops to have done so for Coach Jones.
Nice.
I saved you.
I think that because we gotta figure out how to integrate them together.
Absolutely.
So I think this has to be how, right?
Yes.
So how did you save me?
Okay.
Because I was presumably pursuing as part of.
That's perfect. So yeah, what do you think? What do you think Coach Jones was saved from? What monster was it?
All right. This could be anything. Okay. I think there was one summer when we had a bit of a swamp thing living in our pool. And
we're like nobody cleaned the pool for like a good.
Hey, don't you dare accuse
that pool
me.
Thing. I remember the pool thing.
It's
no,
the pool thing.
God.
Maybe that was the summer you went on vacation.
It was like a fungus that no matter how hard I scrubbed it, wouldn't go away until finally it formed into a whole being, and then that thing attacked the coach. I had my eyes on it, and sometimes a janitor just got to get in there, and I put them through the filter, if you know what I mean.
Okay, so your life was saved.
Also, a lot of chlorine tablets. Turns out it was like candy to those things. So I just let them out.
Dry eyes, like red eyes as y'all were emerging, coughing. Chlorine is very dangerous. Moving out of that, you but saved your life, Coach Jones. Pops saved your life, which probably I'm curious as to how that is going to affect your choices. And do you have a choice? That was for Coach Jones. What is your choice? What background are you giving to somebody?
Me or Q?
You.
I have one with Q. I'm going to make one with Q.
Okay.
So I am super sus of you. Basically, I think you're going to light the whole school. You're going to harm some teachers. You have this incredible spell slinging power, and I think it's out of control.
This is fair because the one that I was going to pick for you was I lost control one time and I almost blew you up. So I'd like to justify your feelings by it was not on purpose. Sometimes the magic does what the magic wants. And, I'm just a fledgling at this point. If you want to blame someone, maybe blame the person that taught me how to do this. I'm hoping that Jim is on this side of the screen as I point that way.
Mundane, don't look at it.
Hey, what are you talking about? I don't know you. I don't know you.
They were garage sale. What do you want from him?
I'm watching you, kid.
It was
nothing.
I love
trouble.
the Counselor Smith. Counselor, you get a bad idea. You get a bad idea. You don't get bad ideas.
You are not allowed
right now.
Yes. Extra hard on you as a result.
So you almost blew up.
Was it in the counselor office? Was it during detention that you almost exploded things?
I think it's more idle. Just I had a free period and I was practicing some magic, and maybe you just were a little suspicious of me and thought I was causing some sort of. I walk around wearing just anti-establishment shirts, so I'm asking for that kind of scrutiny. But I like to think I was just sort of practicing my sigils and my gestures, and maybe the calcium component got a little too wet and went kablooey in your face. So yeah.
And the bulletin board. Now nobody knows what's going to be announced tomorrow.
Ironically, I blew up the sign. It was XYZ days without a school incident. So yeah,
it's gone.
All right. Well, that just leaves you, Coach Jones.
In what way?
Do you still need a background, don't you? You still need a history?
I have one too. So I have one to Pops, but no one has one to me.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Which sounds like a good opportunity for us to establish the exact nature of this partnership.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Okay, let me take a peek at your histories.
Yeah.
Because I have a really easy one where it's like, either I stopped you from one of my kind. And for reference, I'm just a classic half devil. I like to grant not wishes. I'm not a genie. I grant terrible ideas, and it often inspires people to do those things. That's kind of
Sam
my
Elemental.
natural power.
And that's why they pair you with me. Because gosh, have I mortgage expenses. Why?
Heard of those things. Not really sure how they work into any of this. Let's see. We've already got a relation.
Do we only need like a one and a what's the should we have one with everyone?
I don't believe so. I think it's just keeping your selected history option. Go around the group. Each of you picks a history option for every other hunter on the team.
So then we do have to have one for each.
That's what it says.
I think traditionally, yeah.
Okay.
Kind of,
but,
yeah. Because a lot of
as
them are
many
back and
as
forth.
are
That's what it looks like. Go around the table. Each of you picks a history option for every other hunter on the team. So
in
yeah,
practice,
so
it
I
does
still need
always end
one
up someone's
with,
catty corner.
yeah.
Coach.
Mhm.
But y'all are already. Let me ask this as an overarching, and this is just from storyteller knowledge. My assumption proceeding forward is that the supernatural, like in most supernatural TV shows and whatnot, is something that the mundane world does not want to know about or refuses to know about, or there's entities out there that you don't want them to know that you are a part of it. Would you say that it's accurate that y'all have been trying to keep it on the down low? That there's a kid here that casts magic, that a swamp monster came out of the school at one point and tried to kill someone? Like, would y'all say that's kind of the atmosphere, the environment?
It's a very
of Silver Creek?
basic school.
Right.
There's
The
nothing
job.
out of the
Yeah.
ordinary here.
Cool. Excellent. Okay. Proceed, please. I was just trying to get that in
No,
my
that's
brain.
perfect. That's a good
Did
thing
you
to
just scare
establish.
quotes our job, Smith?
I mean, I wake up at noon a lot of days, so I don't really know what a job is still.
Which is why you are never responding to messages on time in the Slack. But yes, continue.
So I think as a relation, we should have been like college friends or something. Like our friendship has gone for a long time,
Ooh.
which really feeds into why you're so tolerant.
So it was like I bailed you out at the parties in college and I just never stopped.
Yeah, because I kept inviting you to the parties.
And so then when it came time to graduate, yeah, because
I followed you for work. I really didn't have any plans.
and if someone was going to apply to a 4-letter agency, a school, then yeah, that was probably going to be Jones and not Smith.
I think this is
I like
perfect.
that. I love that. I never would have thought of it. I treasure it now that we have it.
Yes.
PBTA. All right. Anybody else have anything?
I got one for me and Coach. I'm thinking
Yeah.
that. Why am I looking at my paper? It was on yours.
Ooh,
We met on a mission and worked together unofficially and successfully. I'm thinking it
I
was
saw
some
that
sort of like, I knew that there was something big and evil in one of the like gym lockers, and I needed you to get me after school access, but I didn't want you to know that I was going in to blow something up. So like, but you also knew about the thing and you didn't want like the student to be involved in it. So it was like both of us just trying to comedy of errors, the other person of solving the issue until at the last moment, we both do supernatural hoodwinking action to deal with the problem and go, oh, neat.
You.
You too.
You too.
Spider-Man point.
Question. Was that a separate incident, or was this tied to the pool monster incident?
Maybe this was one of the beginnings of the pool monster incident.
Okay.
Yeah, of like there was an offshoot
This-
of the
yeah.
fungus that was in one of the gym
Sport,
lockers.
like
This
ooh,
is when
yeah.
I was still keeping my son away from everything
Gotcha.
because he
Okay.
was just a freshman.
Aw, little
Mhm.
baby.
All right. So can I put this on top then, Joey? You had to get the locker room access from the coach. The way to get the locker room access is to join a team. And now I
this-
have you on a team to keep a closer eye on you.
What team? What is it?
That one Joey gets to pick.
Ooh.
Jeez.
Water
I had
polo.
to. Let's just go with do what you know. I was basically forced into running track and field in high school, and I hate and am bad at running. So that's
But it's gonna be such good practice.
it's like it's causing personal trauma and torture to yourself voluntarily for long periods of time.
Yeah, but you gotta do what you love for fun instead of just running away from things. Run
So-
towards things.
This actually builds the next question: is when you suddenly joined track and field, how did your dad respond to that?
I loved it. I
Did-
loved
did
it.
you-
My kid's
did you-
gonna know how to run away from all of his problems, and I tell you what, that brings me so much joy. He's not gonna get at by something.
Remember,
kid's gonna
kids,
run and
run away
fire.
from your problems.
When they got teeth, yeah.
All right.
My kid's gonna
Excellent.
be normal. My kid's gonna be protected and normal, and then we're gonna get out of here.
Your kid's gonna be winded like 3 times a week after practice every week.
That's why the play is to get
4
into the
miles.
field side of it. If you are willing to yeet yourself up in the air with a very long pole, then you don't have to run. Then you find out you're short.
For Mr. Smith, I will say
What
if
do we
you want to,
got?
I'm thinking, how long have we been working at? I mean, I've been working at this school forever. How long have you guys been?
I think we're
stationed
fairly
there?
short placement. Like we're
Yeah.
probably within the school year.
Okay.
So maybe
I
we've
think
done
we showed
one
up. I think we showed up at
semester?
a weird time in the school year.
Okay.
Okay, good to know.
Middle
Then
of
I
the
think
semester.
Exactly.
I don't know why yet, but maybe we were initially rivals and we have grown to respect each other.
I mean,
And
that
now
makes sense.
You
Do you love
yes,
the counselor
you-
that he
you-
replaced?
Oh.
Because like
Yes.
a
Ooh.
counselor
was
and
my
coach suddenly went to Tahiti.
Who was my ex-wife?
So
Oh,
in the lore, it was my
Your mom.
mother.
No,
Oh.
no. Wife
Stepmother.
number 3.
Oh, okay, got it. So got it. Cool.
Stepmom.
But now
Do we have like a grudging respect for each other?
yeah, I think the sort of chaos and the instability that you sort of spread around you, I
Mhm.
think is very comforting to Pops.
Interesting. Okay.
Because
Huh.
I think there's a bit of you got to keep people on your toes.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
sometimes I don't put the sign out when I just mopped. It's just for like a minute,
I take advantage of it
just
every
to
time.
feel, yeah, just to
Okay.
just a little bit. And
Oh no, the responsibility.
yeah,
It's just pure
it's
chaos.
only a little bit. I don't want to hurt anybody, but maybe I
No,
slip,
one rolled ankle.
and maybe I get workers' comp. We don't know.
Yeah.
The thing is we respect each other now, and I've invited you to eat your lunch with me in my van every day.
Let me
Good,
ask,
I'm not alone.
let me ask this.
Yeah.
Because I have 2 questions for you, Gina.
Yeah.
So this, first of all, and this is something y'all can talk about and figure out, but I'm curious. Does Pops know about Q's unusual ability? Okay.
Yes.
And
I
the
have
next-
cultivated it
Okay,
specifically.
Ooh,
So
I
we're-
have feelings about that then.
I was gonna say,
It's
then
like
I want Joe to
it was more of a like if your kid's getting bullied, you sign them up for karate classes. Like
so you signed him up to learn magic. You're like,
Yeah.
you
And
know
I
what?
am not
I-
into it.
I've been at this school, I think, for my entire career, and it's never not been like this.
Okay.
And I've
Huh.
accepted it as the thing that just happens sometimes,
Sure.
and then you got to clean it up.
So then my next
I'm
question.
the cleaner. Like I
Uh-huh.
literally
Okay.
the thing happens and then I cleaned it up. But then agents came and they started
Hey,
stopping it. So I made my kids start learning how to self-defense because he was
So-
gonna go to this school.
So my next questions are, and I'm just going to throw them out there and answer them in however or whatever order you want. But do you know their agents? Does
I didn't tell you.
does the parents know the 2 of you are agents?
I don't hide it very well, but I didn't tell you.
Okay. Does
Okay.
You
does
promised
Q
you'd
know?
hide it better though.
Yes, yes.
Does
Okay.
Q knows? Okay, so Q knows.
Q knows. Oh my god, you're such a shit.
Oh, so Q doesn't know, or
He totally can, but I'm gonna pretend like he doesn't.
Okay.
Because
I think I know something's up, but I think I'm apathetic enough that I don't care.
So what I'm building here is
Yeah.
I'd like to
Oh my
also
God.
know,
what
eventually,
has to-
Joey, I'd like to figure out how it is that Q discovered that he had the ability to weave magic, this arcane thing that most people forgot about or don't believe in. And then my next question is going to be, I'm assuming the way I'm interpreting this based off of what Pops has said is that the involvement of Smith and Jones in the sudden chaotic events of Q's life may have been an impetus for a protective father not really knowing who these two people are, like why they're getting so involved, or why they're so interested in his kid suddenly. Maybe that's why there was rivalry at first.
Sure.
makes
But there
sense.
isn't now. But like
I'm thinking
because I'm seeing Q is kind of the connective tissue to everything that's happening right now.
I'm seeing that there's a little bit of so my dad definitely figured out at some point, hey, Q's got the gift. Maybe he was doing some runes over me, and like the litmus test for your child was magic came up positive, and he put me into every way possible that he knew how to teach magic. That being said, I don't think he went through the proper channels. I think that I'm not on.
I didn't even know there were purple channels.
Because just because there's one spell slinger ability, whenever you spend a point of luck, official council of wizards is going to poke their nose into your business. I don't think the official counselor of wizards knows that much about me. I think that we are definitely.
I didn't know there was paperwork to send.
It is not above board.
So much paperwork.
There's a
So,
lot of
yeah.
I love sign things.
My
Sign
kid just
stamp.
knew.
So there might be a loose alliance here of like, hey, look, agency, don't narc on my kid and he'll help you. But also I don't know if I want them to know that I'm your son yet.
I don't want to know that. I think that's
I don't think maybe you are just protective of me separately of like, hey, don't mess with that kid, he's good people, even though
every janitor has a favorite kid, the one that doesn't vomit or like picks up their garbage, you know.
My God, this entire session, this is so good. This entire session could just be world building and it would be amazing. We could all just be like, because my next question was like, oh man, well, where do the agents factor in? And do they have a rivalry with the Council of Wizards? And who are they? And like, what are they?
So here's the
like,
thing. I think if we were to admit that we are agents, which of course we are not. One of us is a counselor and one of us is a coach at this school. But if we were to do so, look, we know a guy. Actually, technically, she's a Rusalka and she's in a local river. But like the point is,
same idea.
We could actually hook Quinn up because we know resources because we.
It's what we do.
Are good coaches and counselors.
But
it would to do so would necessitate blowing the cover. And Jones at least.
Well,
I gotta get something forward.
Answer to the boss upstairs, the Dark Lord upstairs. Dark Lord has said, do not reveal that you're not a counselor.
So he has good advice.
So we're all two steps away
from
figuring out everybody's secrets, but we're also there's a bit of a mutually assured destruction thing going on here of like, I don't want to ruin my high school reputation, and you two don't want to screw it up with the big guy upstairs.
And I can make you run infinite laps.
No, not again.
I like my job.
He's a big number. Just wait for math class. I'll tell you all about it.
All right. So in which case, let me go ahead and give y'all a little bit of background of the setting that I've built so far for this mystery. So I did tell y'all before we went live tonight that y'all will have known each other for a while and that you've had experiences with each other already. You just covered all of that brilliantly. So that now we know who you are and where you all met and how things are still kind of in flux and some things kind of still in questions about certain things. But shit's already happened. Like a creature emerged from the pool and tried to kill someone. There's been explosions here at least once. Someone's life has been saved. There are 2 mysterious employees of the school that you kind of feel like something is going on with Q, but you don't really know. And they seem to be on Team Q, but also Where's your dad fitting into all of this? Lots of stuff going on. And the town of Silver Creek itself already has some pretty weird shit happening. And it just seems to be getting worse for whatever reason. Keep in mind that before you really started throwing some spells and learning magic, Q, there wasn't a huge presence of it here in Silver Creek. But it was around the time that you began to realize that you can manifest through archaic rituals and whatnot, that things started to happen around the town. And it was very subtle at first. Sort of an occasional disappearance, no big deal. But then disappearance and odd sightings and odd rumors, and then the pool happened. So this was sort of these events, the catalyst of bringing you all together. I'm going to go ahead and name the high school John Marshall High School after my home high school. It'll be super easy to remember. John Marshall High.
Nobody else will remember, but you will.
Yeah.
Hey, I just put in my notes. I got it forever.
I should do that.
Now, at the top of some of these mysteries, you might need to check your playbooks, because some of y'all actually have moves that trigger right when the mystery starts, right before not everybody has that, but there are some playbooks that are right before the movie even begins rolling, that there is abilities that trigger. If you don't have it, don't sweat it, but that is just something to keep in mind. Otherwise, we can get into the opening of the narrative and start playing some Shadows of Silver Creek.
Just double checking if I don't have anything to start. I don't think I do.
I do not.
Okay, yeah.
If I had opening moves, it'd take too long. It'd delay me getting to preschool practice for the varsity and JV.
I don't.
Okay. In which case, I'm going to place this on a Friday evening, or I should say a late Friday afternoon, when this story begins. This particular mystery begins with the bell ringing, echoing down the hallways. It's an old school bell too. It's not the new electronic fangled bells that you hear in high schools. This is the old school bell ringing that echoes loudly, piercing your eardrums, and bringing a hope and joy to all of the people that lay within the walls of this unhallowed building where education must take place. The promise of the weekend. That's what you all hear as the bell rings and doors open to classrooms and people become filtering out and whatnot. The halls begin to fill up with kids already talking about their plans for the weekends, cracking jokes, dropping their books, passing sodas back and forth as high school is letting out. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon at this point. So we'll start with most of the high school halls are thinning out. People moving out of the hallways, cars pulling out of the parking lot, the bus circle becoming more and more thin, less and less people around. And if we can shoot this like a movie, if you can't imagine the opening scene here, as the hallway begins to thin out and quiet down, and a stillness begins to pass over the hall. Slowly, in the lower left corner of the camera frame, something begins to creep out from around the corner of one of the hallways. First, it's one of those moments where your brain tries to rationalize what it's seeing and starts making guesses based off of things you've seen before in your life. Even if it's something that may not necessarily make sense, it's a wild sort of grasping of straws. It could be a worm, maybe a snake or something. It's moving awfully slow. No, it's a puddle, a thick, viscous fluid that is slowly sliding its way across the floor. And typically, you might think it's some kind of thick chemical or compound of some kind. Because in truth, for that much blood to move the way it is, it would have to be an enormous amount of blood. And indeed, it is in fact an enormous amount of blood. Gracefully gliding over the clean tile and covering it with its crimson gore. Q, You are emerging from one of your classes. Whichever class you can decide, and why you're emerging late, you can decide. But as you emerge from one of your classes, what would Q be doing? What would you be engrossed in right now? Is your nose in a book? Are you flipping through your cell phone? Are you trying to dodge your dad?
You
Tell me what
pegged
Q
it on the
is up to,
third
what class
one.
is it? Yeah. Fire
Yeah,
away.
no, I am getting out of let's just call it like the English literature, and I always wait the extra 5 minutes because I don't like to call extra attention to myself, and B, I know when my dad tends to do the rounds through the hallways, and I just don't want to court that kind of association of running into him at the same time. So yeah, it's a look left, look right. And immediately kind of like start quietly scuttling, feet screeching on the linoleum floors as I just shimmy down the hallway as best I can.
Okay. Shimmying down the hallway, it catches the corner of your eye.
Oh no. Oh no.
You see what looks like a puddle. What's alarming about it is immediately something that sits with you as you're seeing it, Q. There is no spatter. There is no marks of drips coming from the ceilings or the walls. It looks like almost like it's just there, a puddle of gore that is just moving. It is about 6 feet or so splayed across, like that's how much, and thick enough on the ground, nearly an inch's worth of just like all of the ground spreading out, moving. And it's on the corner, like where you would see behind Pops there in the background. You would see like maybe over by the trash can, very similar, where it just looks like blood. It doesn't seem to be coming from anywhere, but it's just creeping across the floor.
Can do I see it's coming around the corner? Do I see like where it ends, or do I really just kind of see it continuing to move out around the corner with no origin point from where I am?
Well, it's easy enough to just check that. So
yeah, I'm gonna
say, I would say investigate. It sounds like you're trying to investigate a mystery.
I would like to investigate a mystery, and I think I'm going to do that by moving closer to it and taking. I just got out of English lit class. I'm going to take a copy of Catcher in the Rye out of my backpack and just kind of like throw it into the blood pile and see what happens.
Okay. You could also read that situation in this instance, since it's a bad situation.
It's a pile of blood. That's true. Yes, you have that option as well. Sensing read a bad situation is like,
that seems like a bad situation. There's no
that's mean to say about Catcher in the Rye.
So it's up to you. Which one would you like to do?
Yeah, let's read a bad situation, because this seems like a bad situation.
Okay, so you're gonna roll plus sharp.
Plus sharp. Yeah, I have
so
that.
Roll 2d6 and add your sharp rating. Tell me what you get.
Sharp rating. All right, here we go. We are looking at an 11.
An 11.
Yes.
Very good. So that is
good. High numbers are good. I wasn't sure.
So you're going to get 3 holds on that, which means you'll be able to basically ask me 3 questions.
Okay.
You can ask me things like, where is it coming from? Where, anything that you can kind of like get an investigative idea of, like, what. Think of it like this, though. It's not so much a question as to investigating the mystery. You're trying to determine right now of whether or not this thing is a threat.
Right. Yeah. So let's see. Does it have an origin point is going to be my first question.
It doesn't appear to be coming from anywhere.
And it doesn't look like it's leaving a trail or anything. So it's staying.
No, it looks like it's spreading out.
All right. My second question in that case is, what happens to Catcher in the Rye?
So it sounds to me like this sounds less like read a bad situation, more like investigate a mystery, which, good for you, is still a sharp roll. So we'll just say that you're asking questions to investigate, because it sounds like you're experimenting to find out what the hell this thing, where it's coming from and whatnot. Yeah. So in which case, so your next question is, what happens to Catcher in the Rye? What you see is the book just lands on the top of the surface and just kind of moves a little bit along with the gore itself, and then it kind of comes to a stop and just lays there. You can see the pages soaking in. You can see like the yellowed pages of this older copy of this book starting to like absorb some of the fluid.
Okay. So look left, look right. It doesn't have an origin point. I guess the last question is, I don't want to touch it. Can I investigate if it's flammable?
So is it flammable is going to be your last hold question. There's certainly a way to find out.
That's my boy.
I would like for you to describe to me how you find out if it's flammable or not, and I will answer whether or not it is.
I think I'm not going to do magic because that is not a good idea right now when we're still so early in the day. I think I'm just going to take a book of matches that I have and...
Okay. Sure.
Oh, yes, magic.
Magic. Yeah.
You toss a burning match just into the fluid and it just fizzles out. And it floats kind of on the top. And about this point, I'm going to invite anybody who would like to become a part of the scene may do so. I would just like you to describe your entrance and everything. But right now, Q, you toss that match in. Your book looks like it's still sitting there.
I have confirmed that this is not a portal to somewhere, and it is also not the monster from The Thing. Is all I have right now.
Those are very legit reactions considering how terrifying that thing is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Pops, could I be walking with you down the hallway, maybe discussing how my offices have to be quarantined for biohazards? There's just a lot of projectile fluids that were released recently, and I really need a little bit of help.
Hey, yeah, no problem. I got some nice tape. I got it down from a friend down at the station, and you know what? I think it'd be kind of fun to use it. I've been wanting to use it.
Like caution tape?
Oh, yeah. I got some good caution tape. Oh, hey, Quinn, Q, baby.
School is done. Why don't you head home, kid?
I'm going to say ahead of time that this is not as bad as it looks, and I didn't do it. And I just kind of move my shoulder out of the way to stop blocking their viewpoint of the it.
Yeah. And you see, as I've described, this sort of glossy, thick, dark pool of blood that has begun to spread out across the floor. It has slowed slightly.
Pops runs up to you and kind of does like a once over to make sure that you're not bleeding from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you okay? What's going on?
Yeah, Jim, I'm fine. If you could just...
Yeah, I let you go.
Thank
and
you.
I back up and like straighten. So
Thank
tell
you
me
very
about what is going on, fellow student. I'm not a student, a person.
Somebody bleeding? Is this your blood? Did you vomit this blood?
It was in the hallway when I got it out of English Lit. And as far as I could tell, it didn't come from anywhere in the hallway, but it's very compact and tight and disgusting. And it's not regular blood.
Is that a match?
Oh, I tried to see if I could light it on fire.
Did you light the book on fire?
No.
We got it from the library. I'm gonna. Popska walks over and tries to takes the book out of it and kind of shakes some of the blood off. And
does it come out?
Oh, yeah, it just drips. It is.
I really touched it.
It just kind of just drips off. And just kind of.
You don't go anywhere, Mr. Smith. Do you mind? I gotta go get the sawdust.
Yeah. I totally. That's the process. Okay. Yeah, we'll stay here.
Okay.
So kid, have you tried to eat this stuff yet? Just like had a sample
Smith.
of it?
Don't eat it!
Why would I eat blood, let alone bad blood? Bad, is it like thick? Does it have particulates in it? Is it it's not just a big red pool. It's got like
coagulants.
It's got texture.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's obviously picked up whatever is all over the floor, or it's obviously picked up some contaminants. It's safe to say.
Number one rule: if you want to learn about something, you gotta taste it. And I would like to sample this. I don't know if that is a real roll. Maybe
Nope.
act under pressure.
I feel like that's a. I honestly, because it sounds to me like you're trying to find out more information. It sounds to me like it's another investigate mystery roll.
Yeah, you know what?
So-
That feels better because that's what a better way to find out what kind of creature it is than by sampling its
Essence.
I didn't
Sure.
want to say that.
That's what you have me for, right? Also, as a responsible person, I'm being not in this scene at the moment, so please enjoy your blood.
Thank you.
Sam is Sir not appearing in this film.
8 plus what is
It's sharp.
thank you.
Mhm.
Oh, which I have nothing in. 8.
8. Okay, so all right. So you can pretty much ask one question here. What was it you were trying to learn?
What is it? What kind of monster is it? Hold on, let me get the exact question. So, what sort of creature is it?
Okay. So
Like-
it's what's beautiful about this is that with
tangy?
your success on your specific question, to answer you truthfully would imply that somehow you were able to determine whether or not what kind of creature this was by the taste of its vitae. So
Hey,
describe
level.
describe what you do to taste it. Like, what does it look like? How do you just squat down, put your finger in there, and
Yeah, I mean, I grab
a
like a
birthday cake?
pinch of it.
Mhm.
Because if it's coagulated, it's got that jelly texture. You want to make
Little
sure you
bit.
get some of the textured part. Yeah, it's stringy like mozzarella, maybe.
So what you discover is you do this, it's not quite as coagulated as you thought. It's a little on the wet side. In fact, as you taste it, you taste a little bit of water intermixed with blood as well. Enough of it that you can suss out that there is actually more water in this blood than there is typically in blood, we'll say. It doesn't despite the fact that it is very thick, you just notice that there's consistency to that. You were watching this, by the way, Q, as Smith, he just goes down there and they just
Watery.
yeah, Smith, you're pretty sure that's human blood.
Reminds me of human blood, but like diluted. You ever get a glass of just a good glass of human's blood and you're like, oh, I can't finish this. It's too much. Then you add a little bit of water, but then you're like, oh, the water wasn't filtered. The blood's not going to be that good.
No, I have not.
You're missing out.
Okay.
So
I'm just-
we're gonna let Pops come back. There's some sawdust on this, and
That's when you start hearing the cart down the hall of just the squeaky wheels of the giant janitor's caddy.
yes,
I've
perpetually.
never been
squeaky.
so put off by the idea of someone putting the word human in front of blood because it just implies that you've had other kinds of blood too.
Yeah, squirrel, raccoon, deer, kangaroo once. It was tragic, we're out in Australia, I got hit by a car, we put it down, and then it was like, you know what, why not just have a glass?
Waste
Have
not.
a glass of what?
Oh, hey, Pops, welcome back. Did you bring
Thank
some
you.
sawdust?
Oh yeah, and you see like an old cereal container, like the plastic ones that you get when you dump your when
the
you try to make
lids.
it look fancy, and you put it in those. Just pops one of those and starts draining it on top of the blood.
Okay.
Oh hey, cute. Can you hand old Pops there a broom or a mop?
Yeah, sure, Jim. I do that.
Thank you.
Okay,
yeah.
When you go to hand it to me, I kind of lean really close to your face and just go, "Do you know what's going on?"
I have no idea.
Okay. Whoop-de-doo! Cleaning
right.
up some gross.
Yeah, I mean, it's
stuff.
like it's that unfortunate phase of the only way to get the liquid up is to move it around a whole bunch till it thins out and finally
Well,
it's
that's what the
like,
sawdust is
yep,
for. It
you're doing the
soaks it
best you
up.
can with what you got.
Yeah. You know what this probably is? We're getting pretty close to a homecoming. There's some kids probably slaughtered something to put on the other opposing high school's thing, and they just left it out.
Mr. Smith says he thinks it's human blood, so that would imply
100%.
very bad things.
Ah! I dropped the mop.
Just the sound of a mop handle just clattering to the floor.
It's human.
Yes,
Do we
100%.
need to
Well,
call? Oh, dang it. We got to call somebody, don't
no,
we?
no, 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 no. Ha. It's not human. It's what? Pigs blood.
Pigs got
Yep.
a lot of blood.
That's the normal one that sometimes people have access. Yes, yeah. Pig's blood. It's.
Have we
whew.
checked around for a body for this non-human blood creature?
I'm gonna
Ooh.
go to my office, Jim. Be right
Okay.
back.
Oh, wait, here. And I throw the contamination tape at you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna set out the slippery when wet sign in front of the blood.
Good call.
Okay.
Good call.
You just kind of feebly erect this plastic slippery when wet thing in front of this just mound of gore that's just spread out across the hallway.
Oh,
With
And-
sawdust in it, it becomes this horrible texture.
yeah.
While
and
Smith
I-
just jogs back to their office.
okay.
So I'm not really going to my office. I'm gonna go try and find Coach Jones.
Okay.
Sometimes they're at my office, sometimes they're in the gym, sometimes they're just wandering the hallways with a book in their hand. I don't know if they read it, but they look very intense.
Well, where do we find Coach Jones?
Jones is gonna be on the court. Good hustle, Toma. Let's go. Just like no, pick it up. Come on, keep it moving. You got 2 minutes 30 seconds. Come on. Let's go. All right. Good job.
Going to burst in the gym doors and they both slam back on the wall. Coach Jones! Hey buddy. You got a second to look at some child vomit? It's not that at all.
All right, Gehrman, you run drills. If I come back and you are not sprinting. All right. Hey, put that down.
What sport do we see is going on here?
That is going to be my next question.
Bocce ball.
Badminton.
Good.
Okay.
They are running it like, I think Smith would absolutely notice they are effectively recreating our training.
Yeah.
Oh
They're
my
all
God.
like they're
These
separated
poor
out
kids.
into quadrants. There's definitely some poor kid like halfway up the rope and so not about it.
Yes. They're stuck. Nobody's helping.
Yep, nope.
These poor kids.
You know what? You got to prepare them for life.
Yep, this is how you do it.
So you're basically
Alright, what do we got?
taking Coach Jones back to the scene of the crime, as it were.
Yeah.
With like
When
a
they
quick
arrive back on the
download.
scene,
Hey,
I'm curious.
I just
What's up?
It's just I got to get some equipment real quick.
Yeah.
I'm a duck in the locker rooms. I'm gonna get Ariel out of the locker rooms and back on the court. And then I'm going to grab weapons.
Okay.
I can't overstate the extent to which weapons are most of my inventory as a professional.
Which I was going to ask you as you get like as you're by yourself in your office, where are your weapons stored and what are they?
Yeah, so I have one of my weapons let's actually say two of my small weapons. I think both my 9mm and my knife are on me. The
Okay.
most impressive thing is that I can do that while wearing the traditional Coach short shorts.
Okay.
Which I have taken to Smith a little too comfortably. Like I've been easing into, I like to think so. I do like to think that we are working with, the Chris Themsworth sort of thing.
Yes.
Fully supportive of this.
So I have my 9mm. I have and it says a big knife. I do not at this time take the assault rifle out of Let's see.
You have an
That
assault
was
rifle
the
in your office.
That was the least conspicuous of
I'm
my
guessing
weapon
that's
options for that.
I'm guessing that's like hidden in a secret panel that you've had constructed in the office or some such.
It's definitely using some agency locking methods,
Good.
especially after Timothy and Janine
Hmm.
tried to break in.
Okay.
That was
Damn kids.
not successful for them, but concerning for me because acid accidents are very serious.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. In which case,
Acid.
after arming yourself, you
Yes.
you meet up with your fellow agent and make your way back to the scene of the crime and arrive.
I'll see this. Yeah, the scene that you can I say
Thank
that
you.
most of
Yes.
it's cleaned up by now. There's like a cut
Yes.
because they've been gone for quite a while, both of them.
Yeah, I'd say it's been about 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, Pops is very good at his job. So he the mindset is I don't want any other kids to see this. So it's gone like that. And he's just standing against the locker holding out a garbage bag with just like a heavy, thick, nasty pull at the bottom. So it's clearly empty except for the sawdust soaked blood. And the floor is mostly clean except for a few like leftover streaks that he's gonna have to mop up individually.
It looks like a murder scene has just been cleaned up in here.
Oh yeah, streaky as heck.
The moment you come,
Alright.
the moment you come striding up, Jones, it looks like someone was slaughtered in here. But curiously, as I
Hey,
said to everybody
Coach.
else, no sign of anything dripping from the ceiling, no blood running off the walls, no spatter marks.
We got a blood pool.
Hey, Pops, good to see you, man. Can I take that off your hands?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
I
Ew.
think we're gonna have to get this back to Central.
Oh yeah. We're gonna go take this to the dumpster. You're good to clean up. You're not traumatized or anything, right? Q. You're looking pale, but that's like your normal.
Yeah, I don't get out much.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
did the kid? Do we need to?
No.
No, you know what? Oh no, actually, yeah, Q. I have a notepad and a pen and notepad. Okay. When did you first spot the when did you first spot this?
5 minutes after
Well,
last
hang
bell
on,
ring.
hang on. This kid is a minor. What kind of questions are we talking here?
God, Jim. It's
Yeah.
fine. We're all trying to figure out where the big blood ball came from. We can be friends for 5 minutes here, okay?
There was a ball?
It was more of a puddle, but like an oblong puddle.
I came out of class 5 minutes late. It was here creeping down the hallway. It didn't seem to have come from anywhere. It was just big and bloody, and I hate it.
It was creeping,
Like,
like a caterpillar, or like a cat, or like a snake, or
Or
like
like pudding?
pudding is actually, oddly enough, the closest one. Like,
Hey.
pudding on a hill. Like, it just kind of glooped its way.
Okay.
All right, kid. Now, there's one thing I learned from an emergency physician. It's that there's 3 categories of blood. There's some
Yeah.
bleeding. That's a lot of blood. And that is a lot of blood.
It was the shit
It's a
ton
cat
one.
3 blood situation.
All right.
It was a lot. Like if
It
I
looked
lay
More
down
than
in
a
it.
liter then.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
It's gonna be.
Hey, Coach, what kind of thing are we talking here? Mr. Smith was saying it might have been human, but I don't want to say that out loud louder than that for the kid, you know?
Yeah, no,
It-
I understand.
It tasted human.
Again, you said you'd cut down.
I did ask them not to taste it when I left.
You did. It was pudding. Pudding was the best descriptor. You ever see just a pile of pudding on the ground and you're like,
I have.
why not give it a
Blood
try? What,
pudding.
is it
All right,
butterscotch?
It's usually
Okay.
vanilla.
Yeah.
Footsteps. coming down the hallway.
I'm gonna put my.
All right.
I'm gonna grab this mop that I have duct taped with several different colors over the years to give like grippage. And just start slamming onto the ground and trying to squeegee as much as possible.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna get this out outside.
Mhm.
You're gonna
Hey,
clean that up, and
Q.
you
Q.
be
I
normal.
I throw my my car keys at you, and I said, "Go get the van."
Sure, sir. I will bring
Thanks.
that very obvious van of yours to the front of the school.
Thanks, you're doing me a solid, kid.
Yeah, and I make my way towards the parking lot to get the most conspicuous van you ever did see.
Okay.
No windows.
Paint job on the outside, custom job. We're thinking like an old VW van redone
Yeah.
over.
A VW van that has been painted with like the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings art style
Oh my goodness.
of like a fantasy van, like this.
Like half your paycheck
Sorry,
went to
fantasy?
just that job.
100%.
Fantasy.
Fantasy. It's my fantasy machine.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
So then Smith and Jones are going to depart to do something with this blood that they've sampled now. And then we have Pops desperately trying to get this cleaned up as much as possible, what's left of it. And then we have Q that's rushing off to get the van in the parking lot, which just leaves Pops.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Pops,
Yeah.
you are getting the rest of
Oh,
this.
can I do a move?
Sure. What would you like to do?
I would like to activate my oops, and I stumble across something important.
So you have to basically describe what you are doing. How do you oops? What are you doing right now? Are you just scrubbing on the floor?
Oh yeah, no. So I've got like one of the mops with the squeegees, like for windows. So that that's how I'm getting like the leftover blood out of the way. And then doing that. So I think that I'm like lifting up what if there's a trash can there, I'm like going under lockers, I'm opening any like closets that are around to make sure none of the blood has seeped under doorways or anything like that. So I'm like fishing around to make sure that there is no sign of blood anymore.
That is just that is one of the most brilliant. So oops literally just lets you stumble across something important.
Yeah. So I think I'm like going backwards into a room and then either step on something, trip on something.
Well, so
or
here's what basically happens is
something.
you're scrubbing up the blood.
Yeah.
It takes you a hot second to sort of note that that's unusual, but you stop as you notice a small bubble
blood
just goes underneath between the tiles of the floor. This little bubble just pops.
Okay. 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 I'm gonna go into my cart. I'm gonna get the carpet scrapers.
Okay, so you get up and proceed out of the hallway with what you've got and head to your car, which by the way is going to be the van that is pulling up.
Cart.
What's that?
Cart.
Oh, cart. Oh,
cart.
Oh, okay.
My like
Okay.
janitor cart.
Gotcha.
I want to pick
Gotcha.
up like a
Cart.
utility. Like
Your
I want to
actual
like
cleaning cart.
yeah, like a multi-tool to like
Okay.
Sorry
about that. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Cart. Yeah. That's the mustache.
Mm.
Yeah. So I want to just like use one of my gear, my mundane weapons, just a multi-tool to kind of like poke at the linoleum where the bubble was to try and maybe peel it back a little bit.
Okay. You kind of wedge it in there a little bit. Those footsteps never stopped, by the way. So as you're doing this, around the corner comes Mr. Bailow. Mr. Bailow is the principal of John Marshall High School. He is a man in his late 60s, Hispanic, balding, nice gray mustache growing in.
Can you say his name one more time?
Mr. Bailow.
Bailow.
Yep.
Okay.
Can you spell it, please? I want to see if I'm right.
Beaelou.
That's not what I thought. I'm like Bayloe.
Did you change it after Sam
Bailow.
guessed that they might have it right?
I got every single vowel wrong. That's amazing. I got like a U.
Oh my god.
And an A
Because
somewhere.
it's not the name you. Yeah, it's a unique
Okay.
name.
Is the
Yeah.
is the
Yes, it
based on where I am kneeling on the ground at the moment, with my back to the wall? Like if it was here, I'm like back to the wall, facing parallel.
Mm-hmm.
Sort
Are
of
you
like
trying to- you're
on all fours, like on all
You're
fours,
basic-
like
You're trying to cover it up, basically. Yes. Is that ultimately what you're trying to do here? Is to make it so he doesn't see it?
see what in particular?
Are you
Has
trying to
the
hide-
blood been cleaned up sufficiently, or is it there's still blood?
That is really a good question for the dice. And if you're trying to cover this up from him, we can
Yeah.
find out whether or not that's true. So I'm going to say acting under pressure.
Okay, great.
So you're going to roll 2d6 plus cool
Okay.
So cool.
to play this off.
Right.
You're like, just scrub it up real fast as he's walking down the hall. Looks like he's got his face full of lesson plans. He's just kind of like flipping through a couple of papers and looking at a tablet.
That's a 6.
Go
I
ahead.
am not
A 6?
cool.
So he's walking by, he's looking at the tablet, and he stops
Yeah.
and he looks up, and then he looks over at you, and he just sees you down on all fours, kind of looking up at him with red gore smear all over the floor.
Yeah.
And he just stares at you for a moment and goes,
Oh, hey, Mr. Balo.
Jim, what is all this? What is all this?
Oh, you know, the usual filth.
The usual filth?
Yeah. Yeah, you know how the homecoming's coming up, and the kids have been talking about slaughtering some pigs to leave their heads on the next.
His eyes widen.
Yeah, I think I found some of it.
Come with me. He pulls you up a little bit and pulls you
Okay.
aside and says,
Okay.
Are you telling me that some of our students slaughtered an animal in our hallway?
It appears that way.
All right, you're going to have to manipulate him.
Okay.
Okey dokey.
Okay. For a normal person.
For
Okay.
a normal person, yes. So you're going to roll 2d6 plus charm as you couldn't conceal it, and now you're just trying to play it off. So, 2d6 plus charm, and tell me what you get.
12.
Nice.
Okay. Not only do they do what you want right now, but they also become an ally. So here's how he responds. He goes, "Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Not
I
now,
know,
not
bunch
now,
of
not now.
hooligans. Hey,
There's
you
going to
looking
be an
pretty
inspection
stressed.
in 2 weeks. Just give me.
Okay.
Jim, if you can get this cleaned up as quickly as possible before the night is over, I would be deeply grateful. I would owe you a favor."
Hey, it's
we-
my
we-
job. I will clean this lickety split. Not lick. I will clean this so fast.
And please don't tell anyone this happened. You didn't see the animal, did you?
No.
I just need you to clean this up, and I will do you a favor.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey. If you hear anything, you let me know too, so I know who to start following. So I know how to clean up behind them, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Not in a
What?
creepy way. Are you okay?
He pulls out what looks like a bottle of medication and immediately pops a pill and goes, "Fine. Just get to clean up. Thank you, Jim. Thank you." And he immediately
I'm gonna hold you to that favor.
walks. He just looks away from the blood like he doesn't want to look at it, and just walks down the hallway quickly. And he says, "Thank you," as he's leaving quickly and pushes away at the door.
The moment I'm just kind of doing the like continued wave, even though he's not looking at me anymore. And then the moment he rounds the corner, I just like scramble back to my feet and start pulling up the tile again.
So if you want to make a note, you've got the principal as an ally. You can call upon that favor anytime you want.
Great.
But he is now considered an ally. You just did him a big favor.
Hey, maybe I get a bonus at the end of this year.
Okay, so
Buy my kid some nice track shoes.
Q, you have pulled up the van at about this point. I'm curious, does Q know how to drive?
I'm at the right age for it. I have my learner's
Sure, but
permit
does
at the
Q know how
very
to
least.
drive?
I haven't gotten around to getting my license yet, but like theoretically, I understand.
Okay. So there's no
a
start,
go
stop,
pedal
start.
and a stop pedal.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
It is stick. So, that's complicated.
Big shift van. How old is this van?
What? Right?
It's an old VW van.
It's an old
It's
VW
Oh,
van.
it's a VW. Oh, that's right. You did say that. Okay, so
Yeah.
you pull it up. You see Mr. Bailow walking out of the school in a hurry. He doesn't even acknowledge you. He just goes right past the van as you pull up to a stop, and pulls out his cell phone and begins making a phone call as he heads to his car. He looks quite distraught, but doesn't notice you at all.
Okay.
While all of this is happening, the agents. What are the agents doing? You've removed the blood from the scene, and the two of you are headed where?
Yeah, so I have a move called Deal with the Agency.
Ooh. That's
It
good.
is
I
not on a stat I'm strong in, which I think tells us. I think if you're cool with it, it tells us. I like to think I tank some of this. I like to think maybe you're the golden child in the department
Oh my
because
God.
I'm doing a cover for you.
Yeah.
Like,
live for
no, it
that,
was me.
yes.
Yep. No, I mean, look, they needed to get sacrificed.
Okay.
I don't know what you're up to. But I think my poor rolling in this stat might reflect that somewhat. Nonetheless, the ability is as follows. When you deal with the agency, requesting help or gear or making excuses for failure, roll sharp. On 10, you're good. You get the request. On a 7 to 9, things you might get chewed out by your superiors. There'll be fallout, but you get what you need for the job. And then on a miss, you're in the doghouse.
Okay.
In the doghouse now.
Make the roll.
On my -1 sharp.
Moment of truth.
No, that's this. When Sam smiles that big, they either really fucked up
Or
they kind of really fucked up.
Which one do I want in Act 1, Eric? Which one makes me
Well-
smile in Act 1?
Well, so let me throw this at you. It is still in our cycle of you got story points from our dreamers, from the barony of Olives. Our family still has story points throughout you guys. So if you would like, I will allow a reroll on that.
I think I will take that because I like a mixed success
Okay.
at minimum. Like, that's the lovely thing about Powered by the Apocalypse. Mixed successes are both the funnest result and statistically the most likely.
Yes.
Okay. In which case,
Yes,
I
it
think
helped.
on top of allowing the reroll right here, other thing I'm going to add to this is moving forward. We're going to count spending any of the story points from the family is going to account to basically rolling with advantage. You're going to it has a specific description of it though in Powered by the Apocalypse. I don't remember what it is.
We usually
It's not
have like
rolling-
a +1 going forward.
Yeah.
But there's
So you're gonna
also the roll 3 take top 2 is a pretty
Exactly, that's
the one I'm
idiomatic.
referring to.
I just don't remember what they
PBTA.
call it.
Demigods does that one, but I can't remember. I also
I
can't,
can't
remember what
remember
it's
it
called right
either.
now. I always just think of it as advantage. There's like a
Yeah.
little blur over whatever the word is in my memory, and then it says advantage, like written over top.
Yeah.
Okay, that does. The roll is wonderful. If there were a modifier in the whole number set, would be fine. But no, we are in the integers, and that means we have a thoroughly mixed success, putting it a full 4 points above the other result. So that's an 8.
Okay.
Nice.
I
An
get
8
what I
total?
want, but it's not.
Okay. Do me a favor,
Things aren't
Sam
so great.
Delev, and use that amazing ability you have to vamp for a few moments while I pull up some information. Go. Vamp, Sam, go. No pressure. Go.
Do.
Yeah,
All right.
set the scene. I'm here watching you. Maybe we're in your car. I imagine you drive something a lot nicer. Well, you drive
A
something
Toyota Corolla.
practical. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
no,
not,
Lydia bought it, and I love it because Lydia loves it.
It's got heated seats. That's I'm gonna
That is
push
true.
that
I
button.
got that 3 years ago, and it was honestly a game changer. I can't.
I
even
love
tell
having
ya.
a warm tushy.
Are
This
you
is
guys
nice.
You know,
have
the
barbecue
van
with
has
us.
heated seats too, but we don't know why they're heated. They're just really
Yeah, that
hot
was not
for
built
some
in.
reason.
That was not right.
So just
Stop
I-
causing
I-
fires
It's
under
a
your
feature,
seat.
not a bug.
It might actually be a bug. That could be what's causing it.
It could be. It could be.
But no. Are you going to come to barbecue this weekend. He invited you.
Yeah, I have a basketball game at the time, but I could show up after. Like, is 10 o'clock too late?
Wait, basketball?
So
you know Luke will scream and not sleep all night if someone
Okay.
walks by at 10 p.m. You know that.
All
I
right, y'all.
know.
So, Sam,
Done.
randomly rolled it, and I can tell you now that this glamour point being inserted into this dark world of chaos and madness is coming to you courtesy of our super punk Rogan 27.
Hey.
Yay.
So, let's go ahead and thank you, Rogan, and thank you to all of our super punks that support us. You made that roll with an 8, so you barely passed it. So you call up the home office. I'm guessing you're in your office here in the school now at this point. Correct?
We're in the Toyota Corolla.
In the
Hence
Corolla?
the
Okay.
heated seats.
My first car.
And away from prying ears and studentry.
You enter the code on your cell phone and immediately just wait for a few seconds. And when you hear the click on the other side, you just hear a single voice just say, "Go."
Pool of blood primarily assessed as human on location seemed to be more than 1 liter, possibly up to 3 on initial inspection, but crime scene did not have photographs of any kind. No spatter patterns or any obvious origin nor cause. Currently no one missing, but we're going to look further into it.
Tell them it tasted like human blood. Tell them it tasted like human blood.
In the
Some
background.
evidence to suggest that it was human blood.
Thank you.
We will leave the bag at the drop site. Be advised, there is sawdust.
Oh, and like
And
floor
someone's homework.
debris. There's some gum. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Miss Harris's chem quiz. That's disrespectful. Okay. Jones out.
Okay.
That's a good
Just-
voice. though.
You hang up.
Poor Harris. She disrespectful.
Right.
All
She's
right.
so
then I
nice
think-
every time. Like, she always
Eric.
offers the donuts.
Yeah.
I'm proud of it.
You mentioned that Bela was making a phone call. Is he by the van making this phone call?
He walked past the van while he was picking up his cell phone to make the call.
Is there any way that I can try and listen in on this? Maybe get a little
Ooh.
bit of a recon here because it looked.
Unless you have a specific move that would let you kind of figure that out.
You could use magic.
It is a mystery.
Is there magic for that? I mean, I would be investigating would be the only thing, but I was trying to see if there was any sort of
that normally would be
magic
like
for
an
that.
investigate mystery roll, but if you do have a move that lets you do magic, you might be able to
Do
mean,
one thing
no
that
one's
is
gotten to
beyond
do magic
human
yet.
limitations.
that
Sure.
would-
You
Yeah.
can make your ear like
Yeah,
you can
that's
always just
what I
kind of
wanna-
roll weird a little bit and go for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I kind of want to like. I start conjuring like I'm not going to stretch my ear, but like I am conjuring some sort of like hear from far away spell. Just setting up a point where he is, and I want to just bring that sonic information into my ear if possible.
Okay. So describe what that looks like as you're casting the spell.
So I have to always have a consumable, a focus, and a gesture. The
Mhm.
majority of my magic, because it was the only version that we could find on our budget, are just really, really hand-me-down magic gloves. So I start putting on these like white gloves with like very fringy doilies around the wrist points and pentagrams on the back, and I'm putting them on. It's just the only thing we could afford. I hate them. The second we have a budget, I'm getting better ones. And for something like this, I have just like on the inside of my coat, like a bunch of random doozits and howzits and whatnots to make the magic work. For this one, I'm thinking, I don't know. I would imagine like maybe like it's earwax, some sort of like conjuring point. I don't know if it has to be something specific.
no, you get to make it up.
Yeah.
You-
Okay. Good. Then
yeah.
yeah, I'm thinking like it's conjuring like earwax to make some sort of sympathetic bond between my ear and his ear, and then just spinning it around between my fingers and making it a focus point between the gloves and holding that wax in place as I focus on making that bond between our ears.
It just reminds you of all the cool effects you see every time you've gone to see a movie featuring Doctor Strange. Magic doesn't work that prettily as you're just like winding this up and
Spinning
focusing.
earwax.
So this is a move you just get to do if I remember correctly. You just all you have to do is describe you doing it, and you just to activate it. Is that
You can
correct?
roll weird, I think.
I have to roll weird, I believe.
Oh, okay. Roll. Okay, that's
Yeah, to
correct.
use
Yeah,
magic.
that's
yeah.
right. That's a stat in this game. So go ahead and
Yeah,
make that weird
use
roll.
magic. I rolled 2d6s plus weird. I have +2 to weird. So here we go. That's a 12.
Nice.
Oh my! Not only do you hear what he is hearing, but you hear him talking back. You hear you're not only catching what's happening on the other side of that cell phone as he's called, but you hear him speaking, and you just kind of focus for a second, and the air around him begins to softly respond to your will, answering into these archaic words and gestures that you've summoned forth. It begins to carry the noise like the voices, almost like the spirit of the voice itself is being carried across the wind, right through the impossibly thin cracks of the window closed up on the inside of the van, straight into your ear as you're focusing on it. Little bead of sweat rolls down the side of your face as you're just like focused. Eyes slowly start to open as you start to see the words in front of your face as you hear them. And what you catch is, I think it's coming from underneath the school, and I knew that you were the first person I should call, and I think it's important. And you hear another voice say, calm down, it's fine, just another day, one more day, and then it's all over. Click. And that's where we're going to go on our break. We'll be back in 10 minutes, everybody. See you soon.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's a law of physics. It's whatever dog is closest at the time is the best dog in the world.
Yes.
This is always been how I've evaluated it.
Such a fact. You have no idea.
Yeah.
Because that way you can tell the puppy, oh my gosh, you're the best baby. And it's true.
Mhm.
It's always
That's
You
just
are
math.
portraying your own dogs. And that's
Yeah.
really what's key. They can be the best baby, but it's because they're the baby who's closest to you at the moment of evaluation.
Yes.
Yep.
What were we doing again?
we were talking about Tiny
What?
Tina's. Oh, right. Yeah. No.
Sorry, what?
I'm obsessed with that game. Anyway, so let's go ahead and jump back in, because where we last left off, you just snapped out of your spell, Q, and eyes wide as you just watch very calmly as the old man's putting his cell phone into his pocket, and he gets into his car. A few moments later, it starts up and he starts to pull out of the parking lot.
Waiting.
And he drives away. See the car pull out, take a left.
Immediately start scrambling Scooby-Doo style to just like get the door open, lock the car, run.
Okay.
Hey!
We'll say at about this point, everyone is converging.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Okay, yeah.
we're getting out of the Corolla
Mhm.
and see the kid run past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get that kid's fast.
Yep.
No. We gotta go. We're supposed to protect the children. We talked about it.
We don't let them run. We just can't.
Well,
not
he's
running from
actually
anything.
his form's getting better. But
Bless
no,
you.
we need to follow him. There might be danger. The blood, remember?
Right.
Yeah. So, like, what do you think if it was a blood monster that has been siphoning human blood? That's my working theory.
Let's work en route.
Yeah, right. Walk and talk.
When the two of you eventually get back to the hallway, I'm just still winded, bent over, being like, what's that? Okay.
You being
All right. Hands on your head. Hands on.
Okay.
Good job. No, good hustle.
I heard
It was okay.
a phone call in the parking lot. And
Okay.
oh boy, did it blow my mind.
Radiation
know-
poisoning?
Really?
Yeah.
A phone call in the parking lot, huh?
You know the principal, right?
Oh, shit. Oh,
He was what?
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 No, the principal was on the phone with somebody, I don't know who, but I used some tricks to make sure that I
Did you
could-
use magic?
No,
I've talked to you. You use
You said never unless it was
still have
emergencies.
earwax on your fingertips.
It worked.
Gross.
You're talking to him about that.
The principal is planning something with somebody, and it's going to happen tomorrow. He said just one more day. And
The principal plans things all the time. He's our principal.
It was an
That's his
ominous
job.
voice, and it was about the blood that was coming from underground.
Okay, stop. You should have led with that.
I got there eventually.
It actually could be coming from underground, Smith.
Wait.
Oh.
I mean, it's not coming from anywhere else.
No, yeah, you're right.
So maybe we ask Jim here if he's got some keys, and we check out a basement.
So when you're motioning over to Jim, you notice Jim is on all fours and is pulling a tile up out of the ground. Just kind of
or that.
Oh, pops.
just has that
For
thing
an
just kind of wedged
SOP.
under there.
Oh, hey, you're back. I got
yeah.
some good news.
Me too. Kind of, maybe. You
Oh,
first.
great. Well, I talked to Mr. Balo, and he said that he's definitely on our side, and he's gonna owe me a favor later. And I told him about the pig's blood, and he looked really stressed out because there's apparently an inspection in like a week.
Mr. Balo knew about the blood. Whoever he was talking to was also in on it, and something evil is probably going on tomorrow night.
Oh, dang, that's different.
So again, there's no we in this. You two civilians should go back to civilian.
I'm not a civilian. This is my school. If something's going on in my school that I'm gonna have to clean up tomorrow, I gotta know about it.
You will have to. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot to clean up.
And this boy,
Jones,
this is
But
a
if he can
very
handle
special
himself.
boy.
Remember the
he's
pool?
not special. He doesn't listen.
Hey.
Sorry, Jones. Jones.
I am right here.
This can't be worse than the fungus thing, and he handled the fungus thing. Remember when and then it jammed, and then he had to with the mop. But he
What a
did.
valuable asset.
Yeah.
And then those chlorine tablets. I never would have thought of that.
They really
You
don't
never
talk
would've
about
thought
us
of
like
that.
we're not here.
Claws and
were impressive.
sulfur and brimstone,
Mhm.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Chlorine
The
tablets.
classics. Okay.
Chlorine
There's something logical.
And look, here's the truth. If there's something going on tomorrow night, that means that my barbecue gets disrupted.
I have
If
a
the barbecue
basketball
gets-
game tomorrow. My team is playing the other team.
Should
So
we
I
go?
We're getting
If
into
this
that
supersedes
later.
all of these things.
Yeah.
So that means we'll take their help and we'll
Mhm.
figure it out. All right.
Okay. Just
how do
one
we get
time.
under this school?
Well,
Pops.
yeah, that's the thing I was working on. See, the bubbling, the blood started to bubble from underneath. So I thought, oh, well, maybe there's something under the linoleum. There isn't. It's just more floor. But I like what you're thinking, Q. We gotta go down low. So, and then he rips his key ring that is attached to like an automatic key thing. And but just like it, like if you let it go, it goes
Yeah.
right back. And
Oh,
just goes,
the dad and Jones
Oh, yeah.
has a feeling.
oh yeah. Let's go to the basement.
Yeah, lead the way.
Cut to the door opening into a dark tunnel. Just going to the
Yep.
basement.
Wait, sorry. Which between Smith and Pops is taller? I want to know which stack in the Scooby stack in the doorway, because obviously, like, I feel like Jones is probably top head, and Quinn. I mean, age is just going to do that for you. But like, where are
Yeah.
we in the marching order of?
I feel like you might be a little bit taller, especially as a coach. You have that, like,
Yeah, I think I've
advantage
got
to work
that,
for you.
but between you and Pops,
Yeah, you need height for badminton. We all know this.
Clearly.
yeah, that's definitely the sport.
What do you think?
I think I'll say maybe I'm a little taller, but not by like. I think
Not
I
by
wear like
choice.
large work boot heels
Oh,
to be able to
God.
reach
Steel
to
toed
the thing.
platform.
those.
Yeah, I think I'm wearing like heighteners so that I can reach and clean above things, but
feel
that
that, okay.
Pops is actually shorter than his physique shows.
I love it. Okay,
Yeah.
so that puts me directly behind.
All right. So in the Scooby stack, as we look over through a doorway, it's Quinn, Smith, Pops, Jones. Thank you. I just needed to picture that. I just needed that. We never did physical descriptions or anything, so I needed to know that piece.
That's true.
Now
We
I know it's
didn't.
important.
I can't believe
the
we
goof.
forgot that part.
Thank you.
I think we have some very good just physical representations of what these characters probably already look like.
Yeah, I definitely look like a tall buff, played football in
Thank you.
school, went to
I didn't
like
wanna have to
a
say
law
it.
enforcement academy kind of guy. over
Yeah, that's
there.
what I get.
Yeah.
That's
What was
the
with the
energy.
cadence? That was weird.
Hey, me too. That's also what Pops looks like, clearly.
Clearly, absolutely.
Same
Pops is
energy.
endgame. But yes,
I'll make it
we're
canon.
gonna make
Pops
our
is-
way. What, boiler room?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
boiler
Pops
room.
is definitely snacking.
Oh yeah,
Smart.
there's like this pocket full of pre-peeled orange cuties, and just occasionally pops one in. Pops.
There is a lot of storage down here specifically for what looks like packets and packets of blankets, but also looks like there are extra supplies of, curiously enough, extra supplies of fire extinguishers and various chemical agents of fire flame retardants that are stacked up on crates down here. Quick backstory. Silver Creek is nestled here in mid-California and was threatened by many of the dangerous and deadly wildfires that have been happening over the past couple of years. It has been problematic for everyone in California, and Silver Creek, being surrounded by a very large forest, was threatened multiple times. As such, the town has taken to protecting itself and has done a good job at keeping things moving and protected. One of the things that has really helped them is being prepared. So when you move down here, you see there's a lot of supplies. There's lots of stuff that have been set up down here.
Unsurprising though, like this feels natural.
What's not natural as you enter into this shadowy, darkened area with all of this supply stacked up is as you move to the bottom of this farly out of date concrete eroded staircase that leads down from, that was built in like the 1920s. What you see down here are like red bricked walls, these stacked flame retardants that are kind of stacked up against the walls, a couple of fire extinguishers. You see lots of old, like gathered, I wouldn't say it's terribly old, but it looks like this place has been stacked from time to time. But you see stacks of bottled water and like things that are being kept off to the side. But then you see a lot of cleaning materials and all this other nonsense that gets kept in here that don't fit into the janitor's closet. And then there's the wall that's completely caved in with giant roots that have exploded through the entire right side of the wall and have gnarled up and filled the entire interior of the basement. The roots are dripping with blood. And you can smell it the moment you step into the basement. The coppery scent immediately hits all of you. Thankfully, as the rest of you just kind of feel this insane sensation to want to gag, instead, Jones, you get the impression from your fellows around you that they have entered into an area of not goodness when it comes to the olfactory senses. However, the atmosphere down here is that it's that cold moisture and the knowledge of what you're looking at, which immediately triggers a sensation of mild unease upon seeing what this giant wall of roots looks like to be. Old wood that has twisted and gnarled up. I mean, it looks like, the best way to describe this is it looks like a Del Toro animate, like a Del Toro painting, like somebody, like these giant horrific roots that have just kind of tangled around and spilled out all over the floor, like thousands of fingers reaching out and grabbing at the ground. And somebody came and just poured blood all over it. You see this basically taking up your view. It looks like it also, I'll give you this, when you move in, it looks like this was not something that necessarily happened over time.
Okay.
Oh,
That was my
okay.
next question.
So if you
'Cause
want to
I
know
come-
information, you can make that move. Yeah.
I would like to know information based on the fact that I probably come down here regularly to get new supplies.
Mm.
So
I can give an I mean, I don't probably come down here every day, but maybe once a week if I'm starting to run low.
Mhm.
So have I been lazy or have I been doing that once a week and this is new?
This is, if you want to say you've been doing that once a week, we can say, I would say, why don't we do this? Why don't we say investigating
Or is it just like it started to crack and I was like, I put in a complaint a couple weeks ago. You know?
Yeah. I would say this has probably happened in the last 3 or 4 days.
Okay, great. So this is
And-
new. Okay.
And
Plausible you
without
wouldn't see it.
having to make a roll, y'all can see the brick that is laying on the floor. And some of this brick looks like it's been split in half, and some of it has been shocked loose, but it basically looks like something exploded out of the wall.
May I read a bad situation?
Ooh, could I
Go
help
ahead.
you?
I don't know.
Yes, go ahead. So yeah, you being the most veteran player here of Powered by the Apocalypse, explain to us how the help, because I know that you make a roll to add a +1 to what Sam is about to do.
Mhm.
So what are you rolling to do that?
I have to
Help
roll
out.
with cool
That's right.
to see if I can help out.
Okay, and you have to describe
Cool.
how it is you're helping.
And if it goes wrong, I have to figure out how I expose them to danger. So, you know.
Excellent.
Which
All
has
right.
never
Yeah.
happened before in our partnership. This would be the
Gosh.
first time.
Go ahead and
Everything
make
is
your
always
roll.
fantastic.
Now,
Okay.
I, on the other hand, constantly endangering him.
With that being said, I got a 6.
First time for everything. This is so out of character for Smith and Jones. This is so. Eric, do you want me to roll mine and then we can see how
Yes.
it all goes?
I
Cool.
would like you to roll yours, please.
Wonderful. So that'd be a 6.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Oh gosh, how do we?
So
fuck
I
up?
think we're about to get some dominoes.
You know what?
strap
What
in.
would you
Found
go
the
wrong?
bad situation.
So to both of you, it looks dead.
Okay.
The tree.
Like, yeah, maybe to them too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No.
To they too. They you definitely you definitely see that it looks like the blood might belong to the tree. Maybe coming through that wall was to more than it could bear.
I'm gonna start cutting away at the tree then. Especially if I think this is dead. Why not? Just I possess a large sword,
Okay.
excessively large, that I probably just pull out of nowhere and it kind of manifests because
I was gonna
Why
say.
I had been slowly taking my knife out, like looking at the kid, trying to be subtle, and then just a whole ass sword.
comes out cloud style. And I'm
Pops
just
like
gonna start
Pops like
hacking away.
elbows Quinn and just like, well, that's not something you see every day.
So
Um,
am I making it any worse?
Yeah. So the two of you move over to this and you pull out the all 3.5 feet of that blade, and Jones, you pull out that knife. The two of you start making your way into the wood, and as you start cutting it, everyone in the room hears that sort of heavy, ancient, creaking groan of wood. Like, and it sounds like it's coming from everywhere the moment their blades touch the side of the wood. And instantly, the roots go. You see these roots at an incredible speed slam into the skin of both Smith and Jones. like roots rapidly taking to the soil. Just
I'm starting to think maybe swords weren't the play.
you're both going to take 1 harm from that.
Okay.
So I think I soak that.
Oh,
might
'cause it goes
soak
into your
as
body armor?
well.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if you've got armor, the roots cannot take hold.
I'm just a mortal. I don't have armor.
How yeah, so you don't. Okay,
Those
so you
are 2 different sentences.
so you do take the damage then. You do take the 1 harm. Okay. So yeah,
I
you
soak it.
feel the shock of stabbing pain as these roots suddenly split right into your skin and start taking root underneath. You feel that agony as it hits the both of you. Now Jones, you feel it slam into your chest where the body armor is protecting you. And it's enough to kind of wind you for a second. So you'll be at harm 0, but you are like, it knocks you out. The rest of you see like Smith and Jones take the hit. Jones looks like they just had the air knocked out of them and is like gasping. Smith, on the other hand, is in worse shape.
Okay.
It hit.
I'm gonna be reckless because I have a move. What could go wrong when I charge into immediate danger?
Okay.
So
I love the mundane playbook so much.
It's really
pretty
fun.
Fantastic.
I think we see Pops holding the mop that he had the whole time with the cart. But when he holds it with the mop side up, the tendrils kind of fold down a little bit more, and you see that some of the mop handle has been pushed up a little through, and it's been hardened into a spike.
Oh my god.
And so he just you stay away from my kid, and he just like goes nuts on this thing since he thinks this giant tree is about to just murder all of us.
It definitely is going to try to do just as you have suggested. Yes,
Exactly. So
sounds
I'm
like you're.
I'm charging in, swinging wildly, hoping the tendrils go towards me. So what that means is I get to hold onto 2. So yeah, whenever I charge into immediate danger without hedging my bets, I hold 2, and I may spend them on these actions. I can inflict 1 harm, or reduce someone's harm. Did you take any harm, Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Oh, Smith. Yeah, Smith got stabbed.
Okay, I will reduce 1 of your harm by, while I'm swinging wildly, I like toss a rag for you to be able to hold whatever injury to stop bleeding, or whatever happened to you. And then I'm gonna hold on to the second to add a possible act under pressure. I'm gonna hold that one.
Okay, that's pretty awesome. All right. In which case, so just to clarify, you're gonna get Smith, so Smith doesn't take that damage.
Correct.
Okay.
I'm like fencing, like I'm fencing with the mop against these branches as I'm like going into protect and to hopefully be a bit of cannon fodder, so that a cannon fodder, so that. Yeah. What could go wrong?
So the way this is going to play out is basically you see the impact of these roots basically take the air out of Jones. And as Jones stumbles back, Smith gets grabbed and you go charging in immediately. Smith, you're going to take harm 0. So you're still feeling the ouchies, but those roots get smacked away from you just as they were about to initiate their life drain property. Ooh. And you get that the broom just cracks down on top of the roots. The roots almost you're not getting the impression you damaged them per se, but it does look like it was enough to rattle them loose, and it looks like they kind of, it's eerie. It almost looks like there's enough of those fibers of roots, like young roots that are branching out. If you can imagine it, it looks like a human nervous system reaching out and like snaking around to try to grab hold of something else that's not there. And you stumble back, Jones, like and you stumble back, Smith, as the 2 of you have just barely escaped being eaten alive by this tree.
I think this has hopefully opened up a clear line of fire, because I would like to fire out a clear line of fire. Yep, no, I'm right there with you, Sam. There's a reason I love playing with you.
All right.
So yeah, I haven't done combat magic yet, but I would like to right now, if you would like to join me on this adventure.
Indeed. So you have, I believe this is a move on your sheet.
Yes. Combat magic. I have a few attack spells I can use as weapons. I have, for the base, I'm using missile. So it's 1 harm, magic, far, obvious, loud, and then effects, fire. Add 2 harm fire to a base.
Okay.
If I get a 10 plus on the combat magic roll, the fire won't spread.
Oh,
So-
good to know.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
so it's noted.
That did occur to me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I pull a match out, hold it in between the magic force between my hands. A little tiny fire sprouts out from each of my fingers, and I send it in a missile at the big angry blood plant.
You pull evil asshole sorcerer from Witcher season 2 and just
And so here we go. So this will be weird. So +2 and that's a 14.
Damn.
Whoa!
You are just not missing.
It's gonna happen eventually, but
Ooh,
as long as we're running with
horrifically.
it,
14. Damn.
that's just
Damn.
I say it again. That's my boy.
Okay.
Gotta save his dad.
Well, it doesn't
I
look
have
like
to
there's
save
any.
Jim.
Okay, so at a 14, so you're basically doing fire. You add 2 harm to the roll.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, to a base. If you get a +10 on the roll, the fire won't spread. So it's controlled, which, yes, you did have a clear line of fire, Q,
Yeah.
but you guys are an enclosed space. Thankfully, despite the fact that you were throwing fire at what should be an incredibly flammable object in an enclosed space down here in the basement with stale air and everything around you, you're also, again, surrounded by flame retardant materials. And
yeah.
on top of the moisture in the air, you were actually able fairly easily to control this fiery blast as you send it safely past the rest of the group here, and slamming with an explosion of flames that when it hits, it does a splash effect where you see a bunch of these little fireballs kind of spread out and rain down upon the tree itself. Again, you hear a groaning sound. I have to mark that down. 2. So how much harm total was that? It was +2.
+2 from the fire, 1 from the natural, and I don't know if there's like a crit system in this or not.
There's not unless the move says so, but to give you an idea of how powerful that was, 4 harm is usually enough to kill a human being outright.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So we got close.
So you did 3 harm to this thing, and you see the flames though. Shockingly, you just see the flame just kind of, and it just fizzles into the blood coating on top of the tree and vanishes.
Mm-hmm.
You've bought yourself some time with that incredible roll, but the tree begins to creak again. You see the roots just pulling.
Can I use one of my last hold to inflict 1 harm? That as soon as the fire goes down, I give it like a "you dead" poke because I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
And it stabs it for 1 more with the tip of my spiky
the metal
mop.
into the mop just kind of jabs into the roots. You see, you get a good sense of this. When you stab at it with that metal shard of the mop out in the front, you do scrape a little bit of the wood, but it doesn't actually harm it. As it too has armor, you're basically smashing against the bark. So as you push down on it, you pull back and you see the roots begin to twist and gnarl, and they look like they're grasping out to find whoever is here. Like you see one of the roots snake up and just kind of wobble in the air, like it's looking for something.
Whew. Jones, if you have something, now's the time. I have a plan, but my plan's probably something we should wait until the end for.
Oh.
If we can make this thing retreat back down the hallway, maybe we could find out where it came from.
You know what? That I can do. Excuse me, tree.
Oh my god.
I kind of speak your language, being half human, half devil. Child, cover your ears.
Wait, what?
Pops, if you could just forget every tree. I would like to negotiate with you. I have some really good fertilizer. If you are interested in that kind of stuff, I want to get a
Not a nice
vibe.
way to talk about your best friend.
if I could just get you to move back a little. And I can roll manipulate on a monster because I'm monstrous.
Okay.
Ooh!
That is rad.
What a neat thing.
Nice.
It has been so disconcerting on so many occasions. All of a sudden, they're just like,
Talking bark ain't easy.
Mm.
Manipulate comes
and yet
out of
our dogs do it so
harm.
willingly.
Ah!
Oh God!
That is going to be an 11.
Wow. So with that resounding success, you not only are you going to be able to communicate to it, but you'll be able to understand it speak back to you.
Ooh.
The creaking of the bark. The rest of you, as you hear the bark just starting to moan, you think, chilling you to your bone, the rest of you think you hear actually what might be maybe a sound, like a voice that's coming from just the from what it sounds like it's coming from the ambient noise of the creaking itself. You think you can make out words, but you're not sure if you're hearing things or not. However, Smith, you absolutely hear what it's saying, and it responds to you. You hear, feed. And then it starts to immediately pull back as you've asked it to do. Just you see the roots beginning to slowly pull away, slithering back into the earth that it was bursting out of from the one side of the wall. You just see the roots kind of pull back and starts to. You all watch as it begins to. Looks like it's creeping back into that giant. You see some of the earth kind of like falling down, like rolling down, like just loose gravel and dirt just kind of spilling out into the basement as it pulls into the soil. And after a few moments, it pulls away and all of it is gone for now.
Huh.
Okay.
So I talked it off a ledge. It was really hungry, you know?
Do you speak tree?
I am fluent. I really should teach a class on that.
Hang on, I just gotta ask, are you an ent?
No, but I had a cousin who smoked with an ent, and I think that kind of
I knew it!
there's a relation.
Amazing. This is great. Okay.
So part devil was said. Is that like capital D devil or lowercase d devil?
A lot of things get said in the course of getting a blood tree to go away. Don't read into it. Don't read into it, kid.
What's the plan?
Clap on the shoulder.
Thank you.
Right.
Plan.
Focus. Hey, buddy, there you go.
Well, there's a lot of blood, so there's lots for you to clean.
That's a tomorrow me problem. There is still a tree running through my whole school.
We need to take care of this tree, and it's probably better if we do it on our end, not call it in.
Can I look around? Is there like any like weed killer in this
There has to be, yes.
I would say that would be an investigation check.
I would love to do that.
Yeah. So then you're gonna make a move. You're gonna find out investigate mystery. So roll 2d6, and you're using your sharp.
For what it's worth, I didn't do it.
9.
You did too. It's all your fault. 9? 9 total?
9 total.
Okay.
So I only get 1.
Okay. So with
Which
9
is
total, you're gonna get you'll get one. You can figure out one thing here from the scene of the crime. What would you like to ask?
I would like to know if the weed killer works on the tree.
Oh, it's a good question. Would the weed killer work on the tree? Basically, you kind of like
Stabbing it didn't work.
Yeah, you open one of the cabinets you basically a lot of the staff uses to keep care of the grounds. You managed to pull out one of the spray bottles of weed killer, and you glance down at where this thing was. You can still see old blood smeared onto the floor.
Yeah.
And you kind of glance at it, and what immediately occurs to you is this thing. I can say, because we've already established that you are all experienced hunters. You've had experiences together, so each one of you is aware of like kind of how it is to be a hunter.
Yeah.
Every monster has a weakness.
Yeah.
Weed killer ain't it. You're kind of
Okay.
looking around, you're like, yeah, I saw this thing take fire and that didn't do it. So it's probably gonna require something a little more unusual than just
Dang
weed
it.
killer. Yeah.
All right. I don't think my cleaning supplies are gonna cut it here.
Okay. Not that fire's ever really the answer, but fire was kind of effective.
It really was. It was so good. You just woof right in the almost blew my eyebrows right off.
Yeah, so in a
Yeah.
pinch that might work. I got one other little trick up my sleeve if circumstances dictate that we need it, but are we going down the hallway after the big meanie or
Oh yeah, we definitely should.
Okay.
Maybe just like a hot second. Let's just like investigate what's going on.
Can I check out a bad situation? Or what is it? Read a bad situation
So
with just like the leavings that it left behind, or like investigating the hallway to see if that's
A thing.
the good do. Yeah.
Yeah. So like reading a bad situation is essentially like trying to figure out what's most vulnerable to me. Are there any dangers that I haven't noticed? What's my best way out of here if I have to run? What's the best way to protect people?
Sure.
So what specifically are you trying to learn here?
Oh boy. I think it would be is this I mean, this is not a man-made tunnel, so maybe I just want to make sure, like, is this thing going to collapse on us? Is it load-bearing? Like, is this a safe way to go outside of the fact that what we're chasing isn't safe?
You definitely get a sense that the wall and whatnot, that is fine. You don't get the sense that this room has become unstable, or that the structure overhead is in any danger.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
our entrance is probably going to be the same thing as our exit then.
Wow, kid, you really put your brain on to solve that one.
Well, I mean, like, unless we go into a different gymnasium or something, we're probably going to have to run back out here. Like,
okay, stand back. Let's just watch your professional work.
if you eat more blood, I'm going to throw up.
I said, watch your professional work.
Okay.
Yeah. Whichever sense was causing the discomfort, shut it off.
I would like
Asking people
to
way weirder things.
I'd like to roll to investigate a mystery, and visually, it's by chomping on some of the cut off tree limbs.
Okay.
Bark. Yeah.
Did you manage to cut off? And you cut into it. Tell you what, let's
even
find out.
like a shrapnel piece of it. Yeah,
let's
figure
find
out.
out. If you roll pretty well here, then that could be a thing. Yeah. So go ahead and roll investigate a mystery.
Maybe some leftover ash from wherever I burnt it.
9 plus sharp, which again I don't have anything of. So 9, unless somebody wants to help.
You can spend a story point if you want. It's an option.
What were your rolls on the dice?
I got a 9.
You can
Like,
roll
but
one
was
more.
it like
6 and a 3, 5 and a 4.
4 and a 5.
Yeah, you want to stick on that roll because statistically speaking, a reroll is going to be worse for you.
Okay.
So I think it's help.
Yeah, I can try to help. Interesting. I
mean, I'm
have
happy to go in and help my partner. That's kind of our thing.
Nope.
But
Oh,
if you have an
then go
idea
for it. I was just gonna you do your thing and I'll do something separate. Go
So
for
if you're
it.
going to help, typically it really doesn't matter if you declare you're helping before or after a roll, but typically you want to say before the roll. In this case, though, it's easy enough to like see that your partner is kind of having a little bit of trouble trying to piece this together.
And I was out of the call.
And you can also
Yeah.
there's also the fact that you know
Not an
the entire
excuse.
game. Sam was like, I'm gonna go watch Critical Role. I'm out of here. Then what we can do is all I need you to do is narrate how it is you're helping your partner. How does Jones help Smith here?
Because I am just looking for pieces to eat
Yeah.
to really get a vibe of what we're up against.
All right, so I'll just squat down. Tell me the weird thing. Just describe it out.
So it's hungry. It said feed. Tree is definitely just like super hungry, maybe super thirsty. Doesn't have a lot going on. I didn't get a lot of happy feelings from it. It's kind of like when you're hangry.
Okay.
Is any of this helping? Mm-hmm.
Hey, you're talking through it. You're thinking through it. The weirdness is in you. We're just drawing it out.
Yeah.
As always.
Yeah.
So tell me. Okay, wanted to feed. It was thirsty.
Maybe
For blood?
I might be inferring a lot here, but I think that's fine.
Okay. Infer. What kind of tree did it look like?
I don't know anything about trees.
So you're basically trying to help them find the way here.
It
You're
sounds
basically
like
trying to guide them into like.
I
putting
mean,
together
look,
the information.
fundamentally, I do this for a paycheck. I'm not from weird. Like, he's from weird. And
Right.
so most of our partnership, when it gets weird, I'm not the one who has the ideas or knows what's going on. So my job is to support and enable in that respect, and then also to go upstairs at some point and get the assault rifle. But like, mostly support and enable.
The next.
Hey,
step.
you got spells. Don't look at me like that. You set
I got
things on
horns.
fire, and you are a student. You are not even a chemistry teacher. They are the only person on this campus qualified to set things on fire. Thank you.
Qualified. Mhm.
All right. Then I'm gonna say, go ahead and make your help out roll.
Yeah.
Tell me what you get.
That's an 8.
An 8. Okay, that's enough to give a +1.
Yeah.
Is that going to? So what is that going to make your total be?
That is going to make it a 10.
Okay.
So I
is
can ask.
That is a big difference.
3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
A
my
10
partner.
plus hold 2. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
One hold can be spent to ask the keeper one of the following questions. Okay, so or I could ask 2. Okay, so what can this creature? Oh gosh, you know what? Let me ask the obvious one. What was it going to do? Well, we're talking.
This creature
out.
was. You get the impression, being a creature that is touched by darkness like yourself, there were some familiar vibes coming from this creature, and not in the sense that it's related to you in somehow, but
Okay, right. I don't
definitely
have any
touched by
end
dark.
relations.
Definitely touched by darkness. You have the impression that it was able to understand you because of your unique heritage.
Okay.
You get the impression that this thing indeed would have tried to drain all of the blood from your body if it had been able to remain under your skin. It was going to basically drink you down.
Cool. So with my other question, I'm just gonna ask, where did it go?
That is a good question. And while you don't know the answer to that, your instinct tells you these were the roots of a very large tree somewhere.
Okay. So Jones, like, so when I tell you the thing said feed, it was like that deep, satiating. No, that's not the word. It was that deep, evil hunger that, sometimes that I get when I'm just like, I haven't had any human blood. I don't need it because I'm not a vampire, but gosh darn, does it taste good? But what I'm really trying to say is that tree was definitely pure evil, and it was ready to sap the blood out of all of us, every single one of us, until we were like these horrible dusky doesn't matter. What does matter is this tree is on the move, and we need to find a place where there's a tree in town. Child, humans, Pops, Q, where is there a tree in town?
A lot of places.
Yeah, they tend to grow out of the ground. I think we would know if that one were up anywhere.
Are you sure?
I mean, does our town have any famous trees? Does our town have any famous trees? Is that a
Not
thing? Any of
really.
this?
Silver
Yeah.
Creek isn't known. It is surrounded by a forest, but it's not known for having any famous trees. At least none that you're familiar with. Not off the top of your head, anyway.
Well, hang on. Let's talk this through logically.
Logic.
You
Yeah, I'm good at that.
You
Mhm.
heard the principal say that it was coming from under the school. Is it possible that there's like an ancient cavern or something where a tree grew under there? Does it
mean,
look like the roots came sideways, under, or from
Sideways.
above?
Looks like they
Sideways.
came sideways. So
Okay,
And-
well,
and
then
this
it
whole,
looks
like,
oh yeah, go
Dark,
ahead.
touched by darkness and evil. How are we feeling about literal darkness? Cause I haven't taken plant bio recently, but trees, they like light. Does this tree? Or can this tree stay under the ground?
Oh, you're thinking it's an evil darkness tree.
Well, I don't know. I'm not the resident expert.
Not a technical
Uh,
term.
I also
No,
have
evil
another
darkness
question.
tree. That is the technical term, and that applies quite
it is, okay.
fittingly.
it will be a
Uh,
bad name.
I'm gonna
not
say
even writing this one
something. I'm gonna say something spooky out loud. So you were saying that the thing was gonna drink blood. Are we supposed to assume that this thing ate a kid, like
Huh?
a Capri Sun?
Oh yes, most likely.
Okay.
We don't have proof of that.
Zero proof.
It could have been a teacher.
Okay.
Mhm.
Are there any like spatterings of remains around down here?
I can
Like-
help give outside information that will help steer it towards the correct
Please.
goal.
Yeah.
One of the boundaries in the playlists that we typically use is we don't typically depict harm against children in games. So I can tell you now that it's far more likely that if this thing has eaten somebody, it's an adult. The
Good.
narrative is written that way.
Loophole,
So,
baby.
Right.
so yeah, essentially you found a great way to unearth a secret here of like
Right.
if it probably ate someone, you know exactly who to look for.
And the unearthed.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
so then,
okay, so you know what? You know what?
Yeah.
What?
If someone is a blood pool, they're not in 5th period.
Uh-huh.
Who didn't show up this afternoon?
Oh.
We should go to the
Quinn?
office,
Any classes?
and then I can get my
Oh yeah. Their stuff would still be in their
supplies.
desks.
I just look at Quinn. Like, I'm not thinking. I was not about to say assault rifle. Shush.
I just
Okay.
look behind me like, what are you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should split up then. Cover more ground, you know?
Jim and I'll go to the office and check stuff. Obviously, he has all the keys. You two do your thing. I don't know, you're being vague.
We're teachers, and we're gonna do teacher things, like continue to teach you to.
Doesn't help when you repeat the word that many times.
Smith, you're
No.
technically not a teacher. Counselors are not. We talked about this.
No,
before.
I didn't. No
We
education.
talked about this.
All right, let's let them do what they're gonna do. Just keep it under wraps. We got you. You're definitely both teachers. Let's go.
We are.
Yeah, is there something on your
Coach.
nose?
Twin. I-
All right. So, who would like to narrate what they're doing first? Where are y'all headed?
Go humans.
I think we're gonna go to we're gonna do like a rapid speed
Just
montage
wherever-
of checking all of the teachers' offices.
All the teachers.
I want to go to
offices?
Miss Harris first because I want to go to the chem lab first because there was homework for Miss Harris in the blood. Well, and I would have noticed that while cleaning it.
right.
So I want to go to Miss Harris's office first.
That's so big brain from an improv
I
brain.
know, and I do have a +1 to sharp. I'm good sometimes.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go there, and I'm gonna do my mundane special when we get there.
You
The
going
good
to an
news
oops?
is none of y'all have to break into any of these things because
I got keys.
good old Jim Bob Jim here.
Hey, that's what my mom
has-
used to call me, Jim Bob.
Jim here has the keys to every room in the school, and has the skeleton key and should be able to get into every space. So getting into the chemistry lab is just a quick insert key, jiggle it a little bit, and push open the door. You do see that the chem lab is looks like somebody didn't do a great job of mopping up what was probably a formaldehyde spill from a section that took
You
place
keep
earlier.
saying that. I'm the
And-
person that mops.
It's
I am the one
probably-
who mops.
No, it's you have come across this plenty of time, Pops. Kid will have an accident, does want to get in trouble, and will
Jordan mops
cover
it
it
up
up as
themselves.
best they can.
Oh.
Yeah, but the moment you move into the room, you can smell it a little bit. Like, oh, come on! Like, sure enough,
Ah.
little bit of puddle on the side, nothing big. But what you can tell is you can look around the room. I would say make your investigation check here.
Okay.
So go ahead and
I'm gonna just use my special.
what's your special?
I'm gonna spend a point of luck,
Uh-huh.
and I find
Oh.
something weird, maybe even useful.
Okay, so you're
Yes.
spending a point of luck.
Yeah,
I love it because
it's
it's
different
just
than
like,
oops. Oops
I
is,
love that because
just
it's
something.
literally just like, hey, guess what? I'm moving the plot forward. Here we go. I'm catching it. Like,
It's
bam.
8:30, baby. We gotta find something useful.
Yeah, it's true. So what happens when you spend luck? You are going to
I find something
let's see.
weird.
When you
which
spend
in
a
this
point of luck,
world-
you'll find something weird and maybe even useful. But do you
Yeah.
have any drawbacks? Because usually what happens when you spend a point of luck is something that maybe the mundane doesn't
This
have
one-
any drawbacks.
It doesn't have any drawbacks.
It doesn't look like you have any
particular.
drawbacks, man. The mundane is hilarious.
I think it's the
get
payoff of
closer-
being mundane.
You
It's the
just spend a
mundane.
point of luck. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Okay.
Because you only have a certain amount. I'm closer to doomed the more I use it.
So sifting through a lot of the materials here in the class, you don't see anything that immediately jumps out to you until you reach the teacher's desk where you see like a small drawer that's been left open. You've seen this drawer many a time. This is a drawer the teacher usually takes confiscated items and puts them away when people are like listening to their
Yeah.
phone in class or like whatever they're doing. Inside, you kind of pull it open and stop for a moment. Notice that there's a book in there, and you pull it out. And inside is a book that depicts a very large tree etched onto the cover of the book. And it says on the cover of the book, in like old kind of, it almost looks like someone who was not quite skilled at binding books kind of created the cover for this book. So it looks real crude, but burned into it with like an old cheap soldering iron onto the leather is the words Shadows of Silver Creek. And you see this tree that's kind of twisted and gnarled in the center of the book. It's
Holy
about this
cannoli!
big. It's about that big or so. So it's a smaller book.
Dude,
but
we hit the jackpot.
You just found that there?
I know. First try, baby. Okay. Should we touch it? Should we read from it? I hear that reading from books can be dangerous.
Let me look at it. Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll just start thumbing through this thing. With chapter 1, what do we got?
Something
All right,
bad
the
always
moment-
happened from reading a book.
Yeah, you get on up there and you pop this book open because this is your meat, man. Like you have been waiting for this. As for as much as you've kind of pushed it away, Q, the truth of the matter is the moment you pull this book open, there's that just like, fuck, I love this. Like this is what you do. Like you don't want anybody else to necessarily see, but this is
Ron Swanson on a scavenger hunt. Yeah.
Totally.
No, this is my
Yes.
Totally.
Puzzles.
well, so the first thing you notice is the cover of this book itself does not look like it's the original cover. It looks like it's been repaired again and again and again. And the moment your fingers touch it, you can tell there's something different about it. So I'm going to have you make an investigation roll here as well to find out how much you can get away from, get off of the.
Got it.
Information.
Investigation. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
While you're doing that, Pops just brings out a phone and takes a picture of you doing the magic
And just like it,
Post a
just
selfie?
gotta
This is my
no,
board.
just like gotta document.
I'm constantly on edge, like of like seeing like what do you? One of them is just me like looking recoiled, like please don't put this on social media.
Oh no. This is for the scrapbook.
9.
9. Okay. So you're gonna get to hold. You're gonna get one hold on this. You can ask a question.
Okay. Let me go to the list of things that I can learn.
What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do?
What is being concealed here? I
That is
imagine
an excellent
it's
question.
the right one to find.
You're flipping through it. So the first thing you start to notice as you're flipping through it is the pages are much older than the cover,
Yeah.
which is another indication that this book has probably been passed around a lot, and that the original cover of this book probably didn't look like a cheap, like knockoff of like an old, like scary leather bound book. The pages are actually quite old from what it seems, and it looks like
I take out my gloves so that I'm not getting like ink or like sweat or anything on the pages.
Those look so good on you.
You can hear like the cracking of the binding a little bit as you push it aside, but you begin to realize this was hand bound and is probably over 100 years old from what you're looking at. So as you push through it, you're also starting to notice that a lot of the writing on the paper is actually handwritten. It looks like it's very well done calligraphed ink that is just spread across the paper. And you're like starting to realize that you're holding something wholly unique and quite ancient. And as you find one area of the book that looks like it's been opened enough to the point where the book itself kind of folds open, you see a chapter. It has a rough, rather terrifying ink-smeared ancient sketch of what looks like a man, but you can only see his eyes. For the rest of it, just looks like this clouded, like smeared ink from 100 years or so ago, creating what looks like sort of a nightmarish visage of somebody who's staring back at you from behind the fibers of this paper. And underneath it, it says the legend of Bavalaz.
I don't say that out loud.
Every instinct in your body telling you not to say the name. But you begin to skim through it. And as you're reading, to answer your question, what you see written here is references to an old circle, a coven that used to live here in Silver Creek. A coven of witches that actually prided themselves on caring for this place and keeping it safe. There was one, however, a sorcerer, a man who had learned how to use magic, much like yourself, who called himself Bavalaz, a name he gave himself. And his magics, he was very fascinated with decay, specifically because he enjoyed the aftermath of death, that moment before rebirth. Except for, it seems like he started studying a field of magic known by many who play the game to be called necromancy.
Ah, shoot.
You continue as your skin begins to crawl.
Necromancy, what? Because I'm picturing just Q just like muttering all this out loud, and then occasionally being like, not gonna say that name.
Well, Bavalaz apparently committed a sin. He murdered one of the members of the coven and learned very quickly that when you harm one member of the coven comes for you, which they did. They ritualistically murdered him back.
Sure.
In a very horrific way. You read details of disembowelment and being hung upside down. They came at him with fury of medieval horrific death, basically, and ended him. 1 year to the day, he returned and murdered another one of them.
Oh, man.
Oh, this is a sad book.
It's a bad book.
You begin to realize that the coven, just as you are realizing now, the coven apparently began to realize that they were not going to be able to rid themselves of him, that he had done something, some kind of spell or ritual that had bound him to life, that he was going to keep coming back. So they came up with a really clever way of dealing with it. You flip to the next page. Upon murdering him a second time, they planted over his body an old oak tree. that would seal him forever underneath the earth to be locked in there.
Necromancy? Are you kidding me?
And it
Good pun,
occurs
Butch.
to you, and even like as you're reading this, you do see that it actually gives you a vague location of where the tree is. Of course, the map that you're looking at is not a map. It's just sort of like go this way, turn here, like gives you an idea of where the tree is. But you do see
Click.
that it looked like they used magics to bind him underneath it with a circle of trees around this ancient oak, and the roots would bind him there forever. And the moment as you are reading this, you realize that the recent wildfires destroyed most of that area as you're reading this. And you see a lot of those trees were burned to the ground.
Oh.
Shoot.
Okay. I'm gonna. Okay.
There's a riddle too. You're not sure you fully. You're not sure you fully.
Oh my
understand.
gosh.
This is. Hey, you said what's being concealed here. Well, you pulled out the book that says the thing, so this is what's being
Amazing. I just
great.
want to say to keep this scene moving.
Mhm.
I've been taking pictures of all of the pages.
Okay.
And I'm texting
Great.
them to
Y'all are getting
the agent crew.
Yeah, y'all are getting the
Perfect.
text. Y'all are basically our Destiny 2 thread on messaging right now. Just
Yeah.
reading the,
Oh
these.
God! Holy crap! We found a riddle too.
Yeah.
Yes. It states there's some reference towards the end of this that states something along the lines of once this necromancer has been in the earth long enough that his life force will be forever bound to the tree, and that is what can kill him once and for all. But that a certain period must pass. It just so happens that you're in the suggested idea, like it could be the 100-year mark that it's talking about in the book.
I mean,
But the tree apparently is the answer. But also the tree seems to be him.
Yeah.
The guy on the phone said it was just one more day until it was done. Is that the end of the period? But you don't think
I don't know.
the other guy on the other side of the phone was the evil sorcerer, do you?
I don't imagine he used a cell phone.
I mean,
I don't know. I guess that's true. I don't know. Let's.
we
So
got
his
the
father
map.
and son are having this conversation.
Yeah.
What are the two agents doing as you're getting all these text messages? You're seeing all of this popping up.
Did we perhaps get any information back on the scans for the bloody?
Yeah, that's coming in on my cover phone, which I think is just like whatever they gave us at the agency, but then you put like a little like pastel flower case on it, so one, you can tell the difference, and two, so no one knows it is. And then there's like the work phone from like for the agency, and you know, you just kind of double fist your phones. So what are we?
I heard it.
Yeah.
It was there, and
It was there. You
Then it
said
was-
it. You heard it. It
yeah.
happened.
So did we get anything from the non-pastel phone?
Anything outside of what we received?
Your agency did leave you a small a data packet in an email.
Okay.
It looks like it's intentionally left vague. You of course have the training to know exactly what it's telling you. To anybody else, it would just look like a bunch of random numbers put up, but it's actually dates, things that are being supplied, and a couple of words that give you keywords that you guys can piece together. Basically, just decoding it to get a sense of what it is. It's confirmation that the blood was human, and it gives you a list of about 17 missing persons over the past 5 years, all mysterious and unexplained that the agency has been tracking. But they've all been inexplicable, and they haven't had anything to indicate that it might be somehow related until you had an incident with a pool monster recently.
I mean,
A
I feel like
fungus
at least
creature.
two of these were things that we were hoping to look into more while we were in this cover.
Yeah.
Like, I recognize a couple of these names, but we had absolutely no leads on them until now.
Yeah.
So this is, it's bittersweet. Look at us accomplishing things.
Hey,
what,
we get the job done.
Yeah.
Why don't you? I'm going to ask you both. I'm going to do a storyteller move here. I'm going to ask you both to roll and investigate a mystery here, because I want to find out I want to find out specifically if anything jumps out at your characters here.
Do we read a bad situation?
So reading a bad situation is, do I get a sense of like something is about to jump out and kill me?
Yeah.
So if you want to roll that, you can. It's read a bad situation is, what's my best way out? Are there dangers that I haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat?
I think Smith and Jones do look for different things.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to do it, sure.
No, that feels legit.
It's a sharp roll.
Fortunately, I have nothing in sharp. I got a 4 on my investigative mystery.
You're looking at that list of people, and you're going, "Yep, that's a list of people."
Those names people, there.
Those people were people.
A lot of humans.
Thank goodness I had that bonus. It brought me all the way up to a big 5.
Oh gosh.
You both are
something.
Yep.
We are absolutely federal.
You are 100% in concordance. That is in fact a list of people.
Nailed it.
Those and you are certain that was probably typed up by your agency and that you are holding a phone right now. These things you know for a fact.
All right. Facts. No things.
All those years of training coming into play.
Okay, this is something. I'm gonna go back to the text from this kid though. Although I think that kid is terrible and probably has no future ever.
What is it that why are you so up? And I think this is
you get a text message that just says, "Why are you voice texting me this?"
Why are you so up against this kid? I've never seen all of these kids are little screaming miscreants.
He does magic. And he does it really well. And frankly, I'm a little jealous. When I started doing magic, I was terrible at it. Nobody starts off doing it that well. And I guess I'm just a little jealous about it. The kid's like
so
15.
You're stepping on him about it?
Yeah.
Aren't you supposed to counsel or something?
I'm doing what the heart says.
You get back a jumbled, angry, too many periods, everything is misspelled anger rant from Pops being like, "Don't you talk to my kid that was just just like a huge text
the best
block.
thing about this, y'all are like 2 hallways away from each other.
Yeah, it's 2022, Eric. Why would we go into the same room?
Speaking of which, half the school lights suddenly shut off. As it is now roughly 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Oh, those are probably
they're automated. I forgot.
Wait, Jim.
Yeah.
This was in that drawer, right?
Yeah.
That's the confiscation drawer, right?
Yeah. We looking for a kid?
Maybe. Okay.
Oh boy.
Confiscation. Maybe. Well,
we just follow this map, right? We just go and we chop down the tree.
Check the map. I'm just gonna check. Is there a computer in the room for the teacher?
There's a laptop that's been closed up on her desk.
Also cute. It's after school hours. You can call me Pop.
I know, Jim. Thanks. I'm going to try and I want to see if maybe she made a note about a confiscation thing.
Oh yeah, is there like a list of
students?
Teacher logs.
Password. Okay. I immediately want to look around for post-it notes, something nearby, a picture of a dog. If she's from the generation that can't remember a password good.
It is indeed the role of the game, but that is an investigative mystery role.
Okay.
I would like to help.
Okay, you start shuffling around and also looking. You guys are just like checking under folders and whatnot. Maybe this is one of those teachers that like has a ridiculously easy password and immediately tapes it underneath the desk. Who knows?
The baseline of this is I'm going to type in password in a minute, but if we don't find anything, but first we're going to try
make your roll.
Yeah,
and then Pops, go ahead and make your roll.
Yeah, and when I help, it is what is it? Is it cool?
Yes, it's a cool check. You're basically encouraging or being like, "Hey, you got this, man. You got the time."
I got a 9.
Okay, you get a +1 to your roll.
I also get a 9, so I get a 10.
You get a 10, which is going to be a
Yay!
complete success.
Yes!
And yes, indeed, this teacher does seem to have just underneath her laptop have placed. It says laptop password written across
I
it.
hold up a high five. Okay. You go
Oh,
type.
sorry,
you type. No, it's
The
cool.
pass-
password
Alright,
is
sorry.
Aussie Bat 666.
Ozzy Bats, they're a Ozzy Osbourne fan? Not the time.
All right,
Goodness
you type in
gracious.
Aussie Bat 666. Computer unlocks.
Okay.
You immediately see see what looks like popping up on the screen like lesson plans and grades.
mhm. Lesson plans, grades. Just look for any recent edits to it, or like if there's a teacher.
Look in the trash. Look in the trash.
Trash. Trash. Yes, I'll check the trash folder because if someone already did this, maybe it got deleted, but they didn't delete it all the way.
You see a picture that you probably shouldn't see that's been discarded in the trash, along with it looks like somebody probably sent her that while she was working. You see a couple of what look like discarded text notes that she had made regarding looks like it regarding mostly just like ideas for like a quiz that's going to be happening next week. And you also see a note to speak to a specific problem student.
Hey.
This money. Open that. Look closer at it.
Okay, you pull it open. There is a girl in this class named Alice Watson.
Click. Send. Alice Watson.
And there is a draft of an email that started about 2 sentences long saying, I'm writing you to discuss Alice's most recent issues that she's been having in class. We want to be able to help her, and we would like to figure out if there's any, and that's all it says.
Okay.
Okay.
That's when I'm gonna call them.
Okay.
Do I know this student? Is she in any of my classes?
Yes, you would actually know. Alice Wallace is the name of, or sorry, Alice
Watson.
Alice Wallace is actually the name of the country singer. Alice Watson is the name of a young girl here in school who does not have a lot of friends. She mostly keeps to herself. She's kind of just like real quiet. She's a bit of a wallflower, just kind of doesn't really talk to too many people and minds her own business. Having trouble
does the thing
recalling
that I do
specifically because she's actually kind of like she's one of those people that blends in so well. You're like, I think I know Alice.
You guys getting that?
Oh yeah. Thank you for the call. Have I ever had to has that child come into my office to speak about whatever it is high school
Right,
students
do they
have
get
to talk
on some
about?
You
kind
counseled
of-
her.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an easy search on your database to find out if she's ever come into the office. So
Okay,
moving over,
I can
yeah.
pull it up from my phone probably.
Uh,
I'm on
Yeah.
the school Wi-Fi.
you see a young Asian girl who has looks like she is she does indeed seem to dress sort of like in the very plain manner. It looks like when you look at this picture of this girl who's just kind of like staring back at you, you immediately get a sense of somebody who doesn't want to attract attention, is just trying to like keep her head down. She's holding a couple of books, and you see a couple of notes that have been made. Notes that have been made by previous counselors before you were here. Is that she's very intelligent and very kind, soft-spoken, and is having difficulty socially engaging in her other students, not necessarily because she's having difficulties connecting with them during the interactions. It seems like she's purposely avoiding everybody. She is purposely avoiding folks.
Okay.
And she
Maybe-
has got a record of skipping classes too, apparently.
A
Lots
truant
of-
student.
Lots of notes from the teachers state that they find her frustrating because of how brilliant she is, but how she doesn't seem to be interested in learning.
Okay, so we got a little witch on our hands who's been maybe trying to stop stuff, and then she got her spell book taken away in class.
Right.
What?
And
Right?
You
right.
just assume this child's a witch?
Well, the book is all about witches. Why else would she have it?
You think
No,
I'm
yeah,
evil
no,
because I
that
use
tracks.
magic?
Yeah. You read a book about it once, and I just got really on top of you because of it. I'm like, come on, kid. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That
So
boy's got a gift.
Gift a curse. You know, if it was a
This-
curse, it'd be cooler. Gifts suck.
Why is that? What? Why?
Hey,
is,
you
what?
told me you liked the tureen I gave you last Christmas. Why do you like
Ooh.
this?
So, Alice is, a
missing.
student.
Alice is missing.
I'm so proud. I'm so proud. See, we can play more together.
Okay, well, and we also got a map.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
So I say we arm up and then we show up.
Sounds like a plan.
Also, wow,
I just
that's
need
a
to make
lot of
one
weapons.
call.
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay.
Straight up, Jones is just gonna go call their wife and say they're gonna be home late because they're a 9 to 5 kind of guy, and like we've gone over this. It's
Could've
not
missed dinner.
good.
The wife is exasperated. Is this one of those things where the marriage is on the rocks because job has been pulling you away?
I really try. Like I really try. I really want to make this work, and I really don't want to quit my job. But ultimately, she will come first someday.
Oh God, you're Leo McGarry.
It's
That's what this is.
Someday.
it's bad. Look, you say someday. Like the reason I'm not still here isn't to keep an eye on you and help you. Like that isn't why this is all going. No, I know.
This is
I'm
the
so-
storyline that I really
Signed up
subscribe
for.
to. Mhm, mhm.
Mm.
This
I
is
love
why we're all
you.
here.
I
So-
should definitely be home in time to give Luke his bath. Yeah, no. Yeah, I'll pick up Pollo Loco and I'll be back.
Sponsor us,
I
El
love
Pollo
you,
Loco.
Mom.
Really? Really, Eric? So what's
Is
the
there going to be
over?
a fight? I'm just curious. Is there going to be a fight when you get home?
There isn't, which is so much worse.
Right. There will
Ooh,
not be a
24 hours
ventilation.
It's the
fight.
I think we've probably hit resignation.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Oof.
really hate, like, it's not that they don't know.
It's the dead man walking phase, kind of like
It's that
yeah,
there's a tree
yeah.
full of blood.
On a lighter note, what's the over under that Alice fed the chemistry teacher to that tree to try and get her book back?
Oh, that's probably like 100%.
Right?
How does that
Oh.
get a book?
I mean, it didn't. Maybe I'm just saying, there's a big pool of blood. It was human. Chemistry test was inside of it.
It was watery blood too. I don't know if that adds
don't know.
anything, but
That's
let me
my
tell
working
you.
theory right now. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
at all. It's just,
Miss
you know.
Harris
You
always
got a
was
good
really
theory.
hydrated.
That actually is
Thunder
the one thing
that
that
rattles the windows of the school startled
Ah!
every one of you.
What is
Because
going on?
none of you actually realized that it was getting dark out. You've been so engrossed in what has been happening and trying to figure out what this status is. But as that thunder rolls across the sky, it literally causes the school windows to shake for just a moment, like it was just overhead.
I say we
And-
just go straight to the tree.
It seems like the move.
Yeah. I got an umbrella, so I'm ready.
I got and I just hoist a golf club bag, I think is what Jones has gone with for the sake of the child.
Okay.
Mhm.
You just got a golf club bag. Okay, cool. Yes.
It's definitely
It-
a golf club bag
totally
with no
holding a golf
assault
club.
rifles in it.
a single golf club.
Mhm.
All right. So you all headed out then to the van that's waiting out front.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that creepy bit. Well, it's not creepy. It's just old.
When you all
It's
emerge,
awesome.
when you
So
all
cute.
like, I picture this weird group right now doing the slow motion tombstone walk down the hallway as y'all are heading towards the exit.
Yeah.
Spending the past couple of hours trying to piece together what the hell the problem is. There's still a bit of tear in the front of your shirt, Smith. Yours too, Jones, because you basically got attacked by this necromantic tree.
By the time we're walking out, Pops has taped some like gym mats to his his chest as
my gosh.
armor.
I'll give
It's
you a
just
+1
like-
armor for that.
Yeah, I just
I'll
duct
give you
tape
one
some
armor.
of those, knee
Write
pads.
down 1 armor.
Yeah.
One
But
No,
armor.
we
I-
got those, and I clearly had gone to the gym area to
Yeah.
go grab my golf clubs.
Yeah.
Write down 1 armor. I will absolutely allow that.
Right.
I might give you a bit of a -1 if you're trying to move around with
Oh,
that.
absolutely.
But you'll be protected.
Right.
As y'all emerge from the school, you push open the door. There is a squeak and a thudding sound as you basically push the door into somebody who was crouched down right outside the door, smacking them square in the side of their face and causing them to tumble to the ground.
Oh, shoot.
Shit.
It takes a moment for you all to realize that what you see laying at your feet is Alice Watson. Scattered on the ground, it looks like she has a couple of lockpicks that are spread out across the floor. She's holding her face like her lip got smacked just now as the door came open on her. It takes a second, but you all begin to realize that you basically threw that door open as she was trying to break in.
Yep.
Pushing the door right into her, and she just looks up at all of you, noticing 2 teachers. Her eyes widen in shock.
See, she's got lockpicks. She didn't need to feed the chemistry teacher to the tree.
I mean, I still don't know if I'm wrong here. Hey, Alice, quick question. Da fuck.
Please answer.
She stands up and says, I could ask you the same thing.
Go ahead.
Why didn't you tell me that you, or then she gets quiet.
Why didn't I tell you what?
She looks at
You're a
everyone else,
witch,
left and
right?
right, kind of eyes everybody to see, like, you see this, like, she's caught herself.
Are you part of the coven?
Are you a witch?
How do you know about that? What?
Ah,
How do you know
come
about
on,
that?
Kid.
Look, a tree just busted in through my work zone, so we need to get rid of it right away.
Like now.
Also, come on, Q, show her the book.
Oh, I'm pretty sure she's already pretty familiar with this book.
Her eyes widen as she desperately lunges for it.
Whoop, and
She's
I
like, that's
kinda
mine. You
lean
gotta give
over
it back
the-
to me. That's mine. She reaches for it.
This was confiscated by a certain chemistry teacher who may or may not be missing, if you know what I mean.
Is she
And
dead?
I read her response to see if she gets fear in her face at all.
She is so desperate to get the book back. She doesn't really reply. It doesn't look like she's very interested in what you're saying to her as much as she's trying to get that book out of your hands.
Can somebody hold her back or something? I'm not the tallest one in the
I
group.
take
I
the
am
book.
the tallest one in the group.
Yeah.
I just take it. You know, I don't hold it
Yeah.
up. I'm
Yeah.
a teacher. I don't have to do that.
Yeah, when you sees it, she stops and takes a step back, and she looks super nervous, like on the verge of bolting.
Hey, we're on your side. You want to stop the tree, right?
Her eyes widen. She goes, "What do you know?"
A lot.
A
Like
decent
all
amount.
of it.
Well, we read the riddle, we saw through the book, we flipped through the book, by the way. It helped a lot. It filled in a lot of gaps, but we're pretty sure that tree's been sucking some people dry.
And that the
it's
principal might be trying to bring back Balavaz.
Yeah.
I'm
Her
just
eyes
saying
widen.
names.
Her eyes widen, and she goes, and all of a sudden shift in emotion as it looks like she's about to cry.
Oh, hey, kid.
And then
hey.
she just throws her arms around you, Q. She goes, throws her arms around you and squeezes you. And you can hear her muffled voice in your shoulder. She goes, I'm not alone anymore. This whole time, it's just been me. No one believes me. Just going on and on and on.
Oh, geez, you were.
Jones, was I a bad counselor?
We will talk about that later. Short answer, yes.
Again, the thunder just, and that pulls her back for a second. She just says, so you know about him?
Yeah, enough. At least what's in the book.
Okay.
Sounds like, according to the principal, tomorrow's the end date.
The principal, she looks mortified, horrified, shocked. Why? What does the principal know?
I heard him on a phone call with someone. He told them about the blood coming up out of the basement, and the guy said it didn't matter, but because everything will be finished or solved tomorrow.
She nods and says, "It will be."
Can you elaborate, honey?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Babalaz is returning.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. The first theory was right.
Oh.
Not on the day of my wife's barbecue. Nope.
I
We are
got a
not doing that.
basketball
Get in the
game.
van. Kid,
Yeah?
also get in the van so I can keep an eye on you. Other kid, also get in the van.
Yeah, cute. Why don't you take Alice to the van? We'll follow. At a distance.
What?
You
Look,
just take her to the van.
we're gonna go stop the bad thing from happening.
Yeah.
Are you down to help?
She says, "Yes, that's what I've been. I'm the last of the coven."
I know it. Everyone in the van.
No. Yep, let's go.
All right.
Coven
Wait,
sucks.
this is not age group, right? I need to fill. And into the van we go.
Yeah, a lot of you pile up into the van. Slamming the door closed, you all accelerate out of the parking lot. You can hear the camera as the music turns on in the van. You can hear the camera. She says, you can hear, no, left, as the van just kind of swerves a little bit and goes left.
It's
And
not a
you guys-
well-drawn map.
You guys speed out of the parking lot and into an oncoming storm. We have to cliffhanger this. That is going to have to be where we stop as you all drive towards the impending darkness.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Cool.
Well, dang.
Oh my gosh.
We
Is
close
it-
on Pops hitting the horn, and it's one of those musical horns that just goes like brr,
Yep.
brr, brr,
Dan, dan, dan.
and the storm.
Once again, we have
God.
failed as a group to do a one-shot.
Dang it, we're so close.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be a
impossible.
sequel.
Oh no, we have to have B and Joey back. Oh no.
Oh no.
Darn.
Yep.
Gosh, diggity darn it.
Y'all, this was great. We literally, for those of you who've been watching, we literally threw this together 2 hours before we went live. It was just like didn't want to not play tonight, even though we had to postpone Barony of Olives. So really grateful because it gave us an opportunity for me to run Powered by the Apocalypse for the very first time ever, and gave me a chance to play with B and Joey.
Always fun. Always
Which
fun
is
getting to play with you.
Yeah, so we're obviously gonna have to finish this off. We're gonna have to finish off the story because we got a big bad to kill now.
Yeah,
So,
we do.
that's gonna do it for us tonight, y'all. Thank you so much, and thank you to our Superpunks and all of our supporters across Coffee that keep us going, and Patreon. Thank you so much for supporting the Streampunks. We know there's a lot of RPG content out there, and we appreciate your time and visiting the stories with us. We will see you next week. Until then, my friends, sweet dreams.